Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead. Yes, it's us.
Yo. Yeah, except I'm just now seeing, guessing this was Sean Ross Sapp, that changed the... So my tweet that went out says Doja Cat is better than Mariah Carey. The tweet that went out for Grapsody, Sean Ross Sapp, I know it was you.
Wow.
You know what?
Starts beef.
Yeah, those are beefing words, considering I am here with the Mariah gear on. I'm Will Washington, by the way. Welcome to Grapsody. I'm a little bit under the weather. I think a lot of people who got back from Vegas suddenly are. Not this guy, Reg.
Streets.
A little cough going on, a little bit.
Yeah, I've got a little cough, but nothing serious. So,
you guys, we need to stay out them streets, honestly, because it's crazy out here. There's a lot going on.
Streets was talking. They said they wanted to see your boys, so we had to come through, man. Keep telling y'all, man. That when the signal goes up, bro, we have no choice but to answer it, man. We can't just ignore it, bro.
Bro, yeah. It was going like it feels like immediately after the podcast last week that like all hell just broke fucking loose. So
it feels like that. It feels like that podcast was like 3 days ago too. Is that just me?
Seriously, yeah.
But a lot happened since then. Like literally within minutes, I go to lunch after we did the podcast, and the person I'm sitting down with is like, "So you hear about MJF?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Yeah, he didn't show for FanFest," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And that like kind of started the spiral of the rest of the weekend. Phil Lindsey's here, by the way. Not that he's been to sleep.
Nah, man. I never sleep, man. Sleep is the cousin of death.
Spaces Lindsey is back in the fucking building.
Listen, man. I let people run me off my set for a little bit. I saw people running Spaces, and I just didn't think they was doing it like your boy, so I had to touch back down and show people what's up, man.
Yeah, Righteous Reg in the building.
In the building, your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, Righteous Reg. It's been I don't even know which word I could use to describe the fucking week that I've had, that we've had, that everyone's had. It's been insane, man.
It's been a whirlwind. I think that's what they do on TV. Like they're like, it's been a whirlwind week for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of had some travel craziness. Mine was about getting out early. You guys was more late. Mine was, so people know I was at the media scrum because you've heard the questions I asked. I guess for better or worse because I got some shit for them. And the thing people don't know. What
time was your flight specifically?
Here's the thing. The thing people don't know was that I had to dip. So I eventually had to leave the media scrum. I was not there the whole time.
Because I looked up at the clock at 12:08, and I'm like, Will Washington is still in here, bro. He has to go.
My flight was at 1:09.
I'm saying.
I wouldn't have made that one, buddy.
And would you believe
12:08, and I was like, yo, Will Washington's still in here, though. He hasn't left yet.
And would you believe I made it?
Yeah, I text you afterwards. I was like, yo, where are you? You made this flight?
I made the flight. So yeah, I sat there and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay with this as long as possible. And then when I realized, I'm like, this isn't ending anytime soon. Like when I saw how many more people had questions left, and I thought, this ain't ending anytime soon. I gotta go. And I grabbed my bag, grabbed my stuff, and I left. I went to get my Uber the Uber, and I start panicking, right? Because I'm like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna make this. I don't think I'm gonna make it at all. My wife was already at the airport, by the way. She's already at the gate. She was already.
Phil and I were confused about that.
Yeah, so she was already at the airport. She's at the gate, but the problem was, her ticket did not have a bag on it. Mine did. So she couldn't board with the bag because they wouldn't let her. They're like, you don't have a bag on your ticket. Mine did. And so she's like, I can't even board yet. You have to get here. Like, I can't even go home without you because I'd have to leave the suitcase here. So I'm like, oh, shit.
Yo, shout out to Corey, by the way. I didn't see this tweet, but somebody pointed it out to me that she got a little blood spray and then it was like a issue.
It wasn't like an issue. It was she was excited.
Issue.
She was having fun. She was having a blast. Like, Matt Menard got blood on her during the match, and she's just like, "This is fucking awesome." But she's like, "I should probably go wash this off." And then I tweeted. So she went out and went to go like clean up. And when she gets out the bathroom, Eddie Kingston and Dan Garcia are brawling outside the bathroom stall. And there's cameras filming, or not the bathroom stall, but the bathroom door. And she's just like, "What the fuck?" And she's like, "The match followed me here." No, she had a blast with that. But yeah, she dipped like straight to. She went to take a nap at the hotel like right after the show, and she's like, "I'm gonna get like a couple of hours of sleep before the flight." And then she made her way to the airport, and she's texting me, and she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Media scrum's still going." And she's like, "You are gonna miss this flight." And so I ended up, I called a Lyft first. And the Lyft is like 20 minutes away, and I'm like, nah, get the fuck out of here. So it actually said 7, but like the 7 like kept increasing, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so I switched to an Uber. The Uber says 20. I go to cancel the Uber, and it says, why do you wish to cancel? And I was like, because it's not going to be here in time. And then it says, we'll find you one closer. And so it finds another one.
I want it, bro.
And it did find me one closer. It said, this one will be here in 2 minutes. And so that one pulls up. But then they're like, where are you? And I'm like, where are you? And they're like, we're way on the other side of this venue. And I'm like, oh, you shitting me. And I'm like sprinting through the casino, like dodging people left and right, trying to get to this Uber. I get in the Uber, and I sit down, and I tell the lady, I was like, okay, here's the deal. I have a flight that literally leaves in 25 minutes. I said, I will give you the biggest tip of all time if you could get me there on time. And she looks at the clock and she goes, okay. And I could tell she's like total woman of faith, right? Because she goes, she's like, okay, let's go.
Come on, man.
And I said, how much time left? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you. I need you to just trust me. And I'm like,
she said, we running on his time right now.
No,
we
that was
make
it,
it
right?
when we make it, baby.
No, honestly, she was incredibly nice. And she's like, I need you to trust. And I'm like, okay. And my wife calls me and she's like, how long till you're here? And I'm like, I don't know. My Uber driver won't tell me. And she's like, I'm going to need y'all to just trust.
And, man, leaning on.
And I'm like kind of panicking, and we pull up, and literally I had like, she got me there in like 10 minutes, and I tipped her $50. I was like, thank you, you got me here, and this was like a $12 ride, but I was like, you know what, just take it, because you got me here on time. I got through security. It was like the first gate out, like right next to security. So I made it right on time, got to board. They hadn't even fully boarded everybody yet. So I was good. And I made it out on time.
Awesome. Damn, it was cutting it. Yeah, like I said, it was cutting it close there. I was very nervous in that media scrum. I was very nervous that you're going to make it, but you're Will Washington, and you always fucking make it.
I know. I don't know.
You did it. There it
like,
is.
The closest I ever didn't make it was going to WrestleMania 32, where I mentioned the story. I've told the story on the show where I flagged security because I had some stuff on my hands, and they were like, explosives detected. But the part that I didn't tell was by the time that they got through like fully searching me and everything, and they were like, okay, you're free to go, my gate had closed, and I'm like banging on the door, and I'm like, please let me in, don't do this. And they were like, okay, come on. And
wow.
They did let me through. Like, that was close. That was That was a bad one. But other than that,
crazy.
I made it. But yeah, you guys got to stay behind in Vegas a couple more days.
It was annoying, but it actually ended up working out for those Grapsody boys. I was supposed to take off on Monday morning, but as you guys know, as you don't know, I booked my flight for the wrong day. My flight was taking off. I was going to check in my flight at 11 a.m. on Sunday for Monday. I was supposed to be taking off. I go to check my flight and it's all, we're in the air having fun. Are you having fun on your flight right now? And I'm like, yo, I'm not in the air right now. I'm on the ground right now. What do you mean? Am I having fun? Yeah. So my flight was taking off when I thought I booked it for the wrong day. So I had to stay 2 extra fucking days in Las Vegas. I mean, I guess things could be worse. It was hot as fuck. If things weren't shit was crazy. I was ready to go home. I had been there since Wednesday. Monday I was supposed to take off. I was there almost in a whole week. Fucking,
you were there almost the week. Holy shit!
It's crazy out here, but it all worked out because Monday I was staying with my cousin, so it worked out. I didn't have to get an extra room or nothing. Everything was cool. Phil, somebody says my feed is freezing up. Are you guys experiencing the same thing? Should I back out and come back?
It's not great. We could still hear you and see you, but the connection's not great.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on here today. My computer's like, you were in that bomb ass studio last week. Like, why are you trying to be on me now? I thought it was lit for y'all. It's not lit for us. It's not lit for us, you guys. That was a one-time only affair. I'm just gonna keep talking. How about that? Maybe it'll work itself out in the future. Yeah. So Monday I was there. My cousins and I ended up heading down to the strip, drinking a couple of drinks, and somebody from the Grapsody podcast ended up meeting up with us eventually here somewhere on the strip. And Drunk Reg and Drunk Phil really got our shit in Monday night.
Not bad. No, the highlight of that day was definitely that graffiti. That was hilarious. That was a highlight of that day. That was
the
really
bro
funny.
Found graffiti of me, and it really looked like me, and it was really me. I just
Phil said it to me. He was like, "Dude, does this look like Reg?"
Oh,
I'm like,
"Yeah,
that's like a children's drawing of Reg. That's what that looks like." Yeah.
So
that was classic. I think Nyla tweeting it and going, "No, this is 1,000% Reg."
Yeah. Nyla was tearing me up this weekend. Yeah. Nyla, what's up, Nyla? Rose, our friend, we love Nyla Rose. It was great seeing her out there this weekend. It was super cool.
Love Nyla. No, it was great. It was great seeing everybody and both wrestling in and out. I got to do a podcast with Gigi and Andrew Zarian on Saturday night. And it was a good time. Everything was just a whole lot of fun all throughout.
Oh, and Sunday, something cool happened for me. Oh, I kept a secret last.
You did keep a secret.
Last time we were here
kept it on the download.
Potty Pod. If people have seen Double or Nothing sold out in Las Vegas very recently, Paige Van Sant got a new theme song, and somebody is rapping on top of it. It's me. I'm rapping on top of it. Yeah, Paige Van Sant theme song, bro. Like, life is crazy. I was there to experience it live for the first time. Phil Lindsey was next to me. It was like
that video of you rapping along with it. First off, so I wasn't sitting next to Phil and Reg till the main event. I was actually sitting on the other side of the arena, but I could see Phil and Reg the entire show, right? And so I am watching Reg during that entrance, just rapping along with it. Just he's got his phone in his hand, but I didn't know he was recording, so I'm just watching him doing it. It's great, and I'm just like, I am just smiling this whole time. But let me tell you, the video of you hearing it for the first time in the arena and rapping along with it, I have watched that like 10 times now. That shit is great. I mean, like, the joy in it is so infectious. I am just
it's real.
Yeah, it's real. It's great. You did the Paige Van Sant theme. It's great. And shout out Anthony King as well. Anthony
I'm on
King
the AEW music page. We're lit. Anthony King blazed fire, set that hook on. Oh my God, he killed it. He murdered it. It was beautiful. I loved it. Everything that happened together for us to do the song, the Jade song on the Who We Are album, and then to reconnect and do this is like, yo, we're out here, bro. I was telling, we're 2 for 2, bro. They can't stop us now. We're going.
Yeah.
Yo, I did at one point look around like, yo, we dropped that interview on Friday, and then we got down there and recorded the pod that Saturday, and then my guy dropped that joint on him Sunday, and I was like, yo,
this is a great weekend.
I was like, bro, man, we're 3 for 3, bro. You can't yo,
we was hitting.
Yeah, we was a good time.
Great time. Thanks for everybody for the support. Thanks for all the thanks. Thanks for everybody that said anything this past week. Y'all are amazing. Everything has been fucking crazy. My head is still like, yo, that happened. Someone was just asking last night, how did it feel? And I'm like, I'm still like, yo, what the fuck? That was crazy, man. Like, so yeah, thank everybody.
Crazy.
Y'all are super dope. Fucking Ruckus. Shout out to Ruckus first and foremost for coming through and just, making my dreams come true, man.
Yes. Hey, and like I tweeted, there's a lot of Black artists in the space right now who are getting their music played right now. This is kind of unprecedented for as far as the amount of Black artists who have their music on TV right now. It is completely unprecedented compared to what we've seen in the past. Typically, we've had hip hop themes, usually just done by in-house artists, usually white, and it's just kind of crazy that we're here now. And
TZ was saying just in that match there was 4 or 5 Black artists on every theme of all.
You had,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Sammy joint. You had the Scorpio joint that Omega Sparks did. And what am I missing?
Well, they used the Men of the Year theme
TZ.
too. That was Yep. So again, like I said, just on that show alone, and just it's crazy right now, and I'm so happy to see it. And it's I don't know, Mega Ran's getting his music played in both companies. Like, this is great. This is
big shout out to
great time.
Josiah's and like if there's a theme song that we had in a company, he's on it. And
Josiah's got music. Everybody's getting music right now. This is so great. I am so happy to see that.
Yo, you know what? I'm not Josiah. Doesn't he have like a kid on the way?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Josiah. That's dope. That's super dope. He's gonna be a great dad because he's a great guy.
Speaking of music, though, gotta address this because Reg put me on the spot on Twitter talking about it. I'm gonna talk about it. Mariah Carey,
hey, the world wants to know,
being sued over the title of the song "All I Want for Christmas Is You" because there was a song that preceded it that came out.
The bro waited. He milked it. He was like, "Yo, I know. Let me.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this song
30 years. I'm gonna get her ass."
Yo.
But the song by Vince Vance and the Valiants, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," which came out years prior, only 4 years prior actually, it came out 4 or 5 years prior to "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey, and so suing over the title. Let me tell you all something. If this is successful, do you know how much of a dumb-ass precedent this would set? It's one thing to sue over melodies. It's one thing to sue over lyrics. But song titles is interesting because, like, I was thinking about the fact that I actually made a mental list of all the songs I can recall called "I'm So Into You." Because there's SWV who had "I'm So Into You." But
that's a joint too.
But then remember, Aaliyah also had a song "I'm So Into You" on AJ Nothing But a Number. But then Tamia had "I'm So Into You," and then of course
some famous wrestler was trying to do that at the AEW karaoke show, and he I'll give you a hint. He just main evented Dynamite, and it wasn't John Moxley. He wanted to do that song, dude.
That's so
he didn't get his Gambino off because I feel like when Gambino covered it, that was kind of fire.
That might have been what he was going for. I could see him up there trying that with this fucking do-rag.
But then also Ariana Grande, just like in 2016, had that "I'm so into you." Like, you know how many people have done songs that say "I'm so into you"? Mm-hmm. Because at some point there is just general phrases that can be used. Now, maybe "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is a specific phrase. I don't know if this will be successful, but I know that there are multiple songs out there that have similar titles or the same title, where then you get into the song itself. Melody's completely different. The lyrics are completely different. The content's completely different. Mariah Carey eventually revealed that the "You" in "All I Want for Christmas Is You" was about a dog. So, like, the other thing too is like didn't even have to be talking about a person. And so, there, I don't know. I feel like that would set a bad precedent if you were able to successfully sue
For a song title, that's crazy.
Yeah,
There's so
that's
many
crazy.
songs. Like you just named a couple examples. There's hundreds of thousands of examples of the same song. Like if you try to Google a song without the artist, hella songs are going to come up. This would be insane if this guy gets this after this long. This is just wild,
Yeah.
as you can.
And
get,
honestly,
so.
after and I was just thinking, like, aren't there 2 songs just in AEW? I'm pretty sure Britt Baker and Jade Cargill's themes are both called Epic.
Are they? I didn't know.
Yeah. So I think they both have the same title.
Ruckus is
but
going
hey,
to come after himself. I can't believe you named it after that. Me.
So, hey, we are Grapsody, and of course, being Grapsody, that means that we take your super chats and your humper chats. I'm getting signed into the humper chats right now, but let's take a look at some super chats because right before the show, we got one. It says, Phil, Twitter space was hilarious. Theory better on the mic than Miro is top 5 nastiest takes ever. Shout out Grapsody, supporting from London.
Yo,
Shout out to
some
London.
of those takes in there were wild. But hey man, y'all know how I get down. I can handle myself out in these streets.
Yeah, I've never heard a more true statement. But this man definitely handles himself. Let's see. We've got another. This one's from iChurch Pastor Blaster. It says, hey, fellas, just dropping by, showing some love. Tough about Punk. Yeah, we are set to talk about that because that's a big deal. We have It's Isaiah says, let's appreciate Athena and Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks. Hey,
Fire.
Hold up. As I said on Twitter, I think it is worth acknowledging that Kiera Hogan, I think, also had her best performance in that match.
She had a
By
really
far.
good,
Yes.
she had
Yeah.
a really good showing.
I think that was her best AEW performance. And so...
But yeah, look, Athena, again, there's a reason why she's considered who she is in ring. Like, it just, man, her offense just looks so crisp. Like, her strikes just have to snap to them. Like, there's nobody else on that roster that wrestles like her, man. She's up here somewhere, and other people are, like, still down here. Like, and that's not to say that she's that much better, but I feel like the difference in talent with some of the wrestlers on the roster and her is just, like, yeah, it's a big divide.
I mean, it was bullshit over there what they were trying to do when they were trying to make her a coach, but they were trying to make her a coach for a reason. She's really fucking good at this
really
shit.
and yeah, her gear was with the Overwatch wings on the back. I thought that was dope.
Crazy. Yeah.
We got some humper chats. Tony P says, another good Saturday with the Grap
Tony
fam.
pushing P.
Also, he said also an idea as to not make AEW the villain in the MJF story like WCW NWO. You have MJF get worked back up from Warner Brothers Discovery execs as their champ of choice. Then he screws them too when he gets the belt and a new contract. He says, also in the idea I just pitched, I think Eddie should be interim champion. So when Punk comes back, you should make it a 3-way. Eddie is the people's champ. Punk is the AEW company's champ. And MJF is Warner Brother Discovery's champ. That is how you play
Somebody
out
is
the MJF
booked
story.
in over there. They had the pad and the pen out for this angle right now. Good for you.
And Van Twinblay says, hey, yo, Uncle Tony has given me personally a hair versus hair match for the 15th. That's right. This happened in St. Louis. Says, I'll be behind and boom on the back of the ring in section 108. I need Tony to book as many Team Ambition people as possible. Hashtag Team Ambition, hashtag Glory Pro, hashtag Our City.
I was like,
Blood and
yo,
guts.
I was about to say AEW set the world on fire if Van Van Twinblade comes on our show and doesn't talk about Glory Pro, but he's gonna get his Glory Pro shit off. So shout out to Van Twinblade.
Yeah, Pedro says, "Good morning, Grapsody. I have to give a shout out to the Iron Man of Spaces, Phil Lindsey, for going all night talking and ranting about a bunch of things. It was great to hear. Love you guys. Hope y'all have a great Saturday. Thanks."
Yeah, when I opened up my cell phone at like 5 a.m. and it was in a space with like 60 people, I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah, I thought my phone. I thought my phone froze. I'm like, hey, why ain't my shit updating? Because, like, Phil was in the spaces last night.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, my shit didn't update. No,
why are 60 people? Why are 60 people still listening to me at 5 a.m? What's going on, man?
We got Jennifer said, "Weekly love and support for y'all. This week has had some people coming out of the woodwork being a-holes to folks for no real reasons talk about anything wrestling. This is supposed to be fun. They all forgot. Thank you for keeping it fun yet thoughtful." Yes,
y'all must have forgot.
I fully believe that. Look, man, we are all still just talking about wrestling, and that's the thing that I need people to kind of calm the fuck down on. This is all just. This is something I enjoy talking about, that I have fun talking about, and I do this podcast because it is fun. I love having fun with you guys. When somebody said yesterday about the fact that I never criticize anymore, it's not that I don't have critiques. What it is I realize that after a while, I just don't like being in a negative headspace anymore. So I just don't talk about the shit that bothers me anymore. I used to a lot. And then I realized I was just angry all the time, and I don't want to be that no more. So therefore, you really are, at least on Twitter, really just going to catch me talking about the stuff I like and avoiding, if I don't like it, I'll probably just avoid it unless it's something that egregiously needs my input to change. Otherwise, I'll save it for this show. Because on this show, we talk about shit we don't like all the time. But I feel like
your other show where you specifically discuss AEW programming specifically.
Right. But in general, I just feel like with Twitter, the problem with discussing shit I don't like, and even discussing shit I like, is that when I find myself tweeting about shit I like, I get people in my mentions that are like, "Nah, the shit is whack," right? And then if I mention something I don't like, then I get people in my mentions that are like, "No, this is great." And I'm not trying to argue with people, and so that's why I leave that stuff alone. It's not that I like everything; it's that I don't have the energy anymore to get into it with people over shitting on things. So I try to keep it positive. I feel like I'm trying to do the opposite of the old adage of, you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you'll tell 10 people, but you have a good experience, you'll tell one person. Try and do the opposite of that, right? We're like, okay, I have a good experience, I want to tell 100 people. And then if I have a bad experience, whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'll move on. That's it. And so you don't catch me tweeting about shit I don't like at all anymore.
Let's see.
And sometimes I'll slip. There are times where I'll be like, oh, this shit is trash, right? And then I'll start typing, and I'm like, nope. I can already picture how this is going to go.
Not worth it.
Backspace. Although one day, if something just annoys me that much, I might tweet about it and then immediately turn off notifications.
I think I've prided myself for a long time on responding to my followers. Whether that's, in spaces or just tweeting stuff. So a lot of times I tweet stuff and I'm just talking. And so some people are like, I know you're getting your takes off for the listen, bro, I'm just talking. This is just my opinion. You ain't got to agree with me. You ain't got to like my opinion. I don't care.
Nope.
You can go off to your timeline and, be mad at me and shake your fist virtually, whatever the hell you want to do. But I say all the time, people in this, I have to get personal and turn it into name calling and other goofy stuff. Once it turns into that, I'm out. I don't want to do that.
I have no energy for that. Hey, it's Isaiah. Then follows up with, what we got to do for the baddies to be on Grapsody.
They got to come through.
Pray.
They got to come through.
Me.
Jade's been through. We just need.
Jade. We've had Jade.
We need Kiara and Red Velvet.
We're supposed to have Red on here anyway, so
we just got to get that rescheduled. We were supposed to. We had that scheduled, and then she had a scheduling conflict, and so we had to reschedule, and we just haven't reset it back up. But yeah, Jade. Red. And so we've had Jade on the show, and love Jade Cargill. She's always the breaking kayfabe, but the always the kindest person to me. But and then Red Velvet. Red Velvet is also she's a great friend of the show, and honestly, I've only met Kiera one time, but she was honestly just the nicest person as well.
Was that at Terminus?
Terminus, yeah, it's the only time I met Kiera. And you saw we talked for a few minutes, but that was the only time I've ever met her. And he also followed up with they messed around and found out with Phil on Twitter.
I be telling people, bro, Will is the nice guy on my podcast, like on our podcast. Out of the three of us, like, yo, stop it, bro. Like, that's my guy. I'm not gonna let you talk about my guy like that. Like,
no way.
No.
I'm about to say something.
And I don't like the insinuation made.
I mean, I didn't like any of that either, but
there's no real need to repeat it. I don't like the insinuation, and people need to watch their mouth. Perfect.
Exactly.
Just
watch your mouth, bro. I don't know who the fuck y'all think we are. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah.
Matt says, happy Saturday, Will, Phil, and Reg. Did you guys see the press release AEW just put out about the vacated belt? They're calling it the Eliminator
they just be
Series.
putting out news while we're on the air. Like, we can't stop. They can't stop for a minute to stop putting out news, man. It's crazy out there.
Let me see. So usually if it's a press release, it should usually be in the inbox, right?
For press.
So I could probably find that very quickly.
All right, real quick. Who's your prediction to win this belt?
There it is. Well, okay. So we'll talk. That's a story here. We got to talk about
that's
that.
A story.
Yeah. We'll talk about that really soon here. Because the last super chat I'm going to go with, and then we'll read the rest in just a little bit here. This one from C. Romero says, "Sup, fellas, crazy week. Is it possible for Tony and MJF to have a conversation months ago to plan all reports of him being mad about his pay, them not getting along? I could see it all being a work." No. I personally don't think so, based on conversations that I've had and conversations that I know were had. No. Don't think so at all.
Pro wrestling this good can only happen by chance. No one can plan this shit.
Now, that said, I know people out there who are reporting that it was. I will say that without getting into too many details, there are a lot of things that would have been entirely unnecessary because they're not out in the open and they didn't happen in public.
Exactly.
And they weren't. And they were kind of said in confidence. There's a lot of things that happened there that they would have been useless to the story pretty much, because like nobody knows about them. No, they're not out there. There's a lot of stuff out there that's like, you would have had to meticulously plan how all that was going to go. You would have needed to have planned for me to have made that one statement I made a couple of weeks ago on the show that got everybody riled up, that literally was just my conjecture that I then had to apologize for. Like, you would have had to have planned for literally all of that.
That's crazy. And I wasn't in on it. If that's the case, I got work too.
Yeah. So I feel like there's certain pieces that all just worked out the way that they did.
What are you guys talking about in this fucking chat, dude?
What's happening now?
Scorpio Sky tweeted about his knee injury. Like, what the fuck is going on here, you guys? I can't take anymore. Stop it.
Yeah,
please stop.
I know.
We're trying to talk about the news on the show. We can't have more.
Is stuff breaking during the show? What's happening here now?
You guys, this is crazy.
Let's see. He says, hopefully nothing serious, and I'll be back to defend again soon. Okay.
Come on, man. Big Scorpio.
I mean, I did notice Scorpio Sky seemed like he was limping, so I was like, oh. And it wasn't like he was like particularly selling anything, but oof.
Yeah. And it was his right side. Wrestling folklore knows that if it's right, then it's real, as they say. I just made that up, but that's usually how it is.
What is that?
I was about to say, yo, what is that?
As opening the curtain a little bit, if when wrestling, they work the left side of the body. So if it's ever the right side, it's usually a little spooky. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that. See, open up the curtain.
So let's. I guess we'll start with. Really, it's going last, or it's going fifth because it's the most unfortunate. But CM Punk is injured. And
I watched Phil celebrate on Sunday. He was so happy.
I know, man. Phil's favorite Phil was injured on Wednesday's Dynamite and has to have surgery, as he revealed on Rampage last night. And he will not be relinquishing the title. He will remain champion, but there will be an interim champion crowned in the meantime. And that is kind of AEW's modus operandi, as we say, because they don't strip champions. They crown interim champions. I think there's good and bad to that. I think the bad to that is that only the lineal champion is ever recognized, and therefore it kind of sucks when essentially the reign of the interim champion isn't the recognized reign when you look at the title lineage, right? Mm-hmm. So then therefore if somebody gets a meaningful reign out of this, they win the title, they end up having some banger ass matches, they end up having some shit, but like in the lineage of the belt, like it's not going to count. That sucks. Mm-hmm. I will say that interim champions do hold them accountable. And I say that because one of the things I've always hated is when a champion has to relinquish their belt and they just never come back for it. And so I do feel like like Finn Balor was one of those cases, right? Where like it was like 2 years before he ever got the challenge for the Universal title again after handing it over. And so I do like the idea that upon return, the original champion is still the champion, and therefore we have to have a crowning of an undisputed champion. I like that idea because it at least, again, it holds to account the fact that we still have unfinished business with this other person as champ. That I like. But again, I feel like there has to be a better way to acknowledge the lineage of the belts if you're going to do that, especially if Punk is out a significant amount of time and we have like 6 months go by with an interim champion. And then, so like, is like 6 months of stuff just not going to count? I don't like that at all.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so CM Punk, it's reportedly a foot injury. There's speculation that it happened on his entrance at the Forum, the stage dive.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I know, right? Because like wrestling injuries happen, and like that's one of those.
Some of them that's how they happen. Like a wrestler be like, "No, it wasn't from anything. It was just from stepping on the ring wrong, or like anything like that." That's how dangerous fucking wrestling.
I mean, remember that particular one of the stories that I guess some younger fans may not recall, but in 2003, it was like a month after Evolution formed. Randy Orton and Batista got injured in the same show, but the way it happened, like, was it? I think one of them got injured in the match itself, but the other was just walking back up the ramp and like had a leg injury, and was out the next like 8 months after that.
Yep.
Which is just crazy to think about, but that's the kind of stuff that happens. And we see that. Hell, Triple H's career biggest injury was just him performing a clothesline. He wasn't taking any one particular move. It was just tore his quad. It wasn't even a clothesline. He was just clubbing Jericho from behind.
Right.
And so like shit happens, but man, that's one of those like you wish you could take back kind of moments. I'm sure of, done this stage dive multiple times.
I was thinking of like, what if the whole timeline, like what if Hangman won on Sunday, then he wouldn't have had the championship celebration and he wouldn't have done this stage dive to hurt his foot. So it's like anything could have changed this whole thing, but it all happened how it happened.
Well, I even thought about how
pro wrestling,
I thought about what was that Grand Slam where Punk was where they had the elevated ramp and people were like, "Hey, stage dive," and Punk during his entrance looks off and he's like, "Nah, that is too big of a gap. I'm not gonna make that." But like during this one, he was on the elevated part of the ramp and he jumped kind of down, and I feel like Isn't that the thing he like said he wasn't gonna do at Grand Slams? That was interesting. But either way, again, it's just one of those in the moment kind of things where you're excited, you're elated, you're fucking jazzed, you're like
the champion.
Let's fucking go. I'm gonna dive into this goddamn crowd, and then
it's just like people are saying about him botching or whatever in the match, the fucking buckshot lariat. CM Punk has never ever been the most graceful wrestler. He doesn't like his springboards aren't pretty, like his moves aren't pretty. That's never what he's been about. He's about like psychology, all kinds of things in these matches. He's not the most graceful guy. So when he tries to do things, it never has. Not from day, never, not one day. When he tries to do graceful things, this is what happens.
Yeah, what's interesting too is people were pointing out the slip up from Dynamite, and looking back at that now was the springboard, right?
I was like, oh, his foot was hurt.
Yeah, his foot was hurt.
I think he was clearly hurt in that moment. Like, you could definitely see when he hopped up on the turnbuckle and he looked right in the camera and said, "I'm sorry." Like, you could tell that like he was just like not on his game. He looked slower in that match. He just looked off. And now we know why. But was I disappointed? I was super duper disappointed. Not just because I tweeted that night like it's coming home, man. Like I was ready for my guy to bring that title home, and just not seeing him defend it at Forbidden Door. And I know that getting the New Japan matches were something that he wanted. Even just watching him limp out there, and I was like, "Oh no!" Sheesh. And just just watching him like tear up the whole time, I was like, "No!" And it just was a bad feeling. Like it put a damper on the entire rest of the Rampage for me. Like I was sitting there watching the main event.
Bomb ass promo though.
Yeah, I just wasn't even into the main event. I was like, "This just sucks." But
luckily, it started off super duper hot.
It did.
Shout out the fucking Young Bucks, the greatest tag team in the history of tag teams. Your favorite tag team could fucking never. They're on TV with Madcap Moss.
Yeah. So, man, it was.
Shout out Moss though. Like
don't shout out Moss. Not on my fucking show. Fuck Madcap Moss. He sucks. He's awful. WWE's convincing you guys that since this guy is fucking strong,
what was that they did?
You don't want to see this guy on TV. He sucks, dude.
What was that they did with him tonight? Where he came out of the ambulance like the
tonight. You ain't been asleep. That was last night.
Whatever it was. Time is an illusion. So last night when he came out
tonight, that's hilarious.
So what was that? Like he got out of the ambulance like the Fiend and had the red light and the smoke behind. I was like, what is
They're
this?
like, oh, look at this picture. I've never seen such a fucking boring ass wrestler. What do you guys want from me, dude? This is awful. Stop convincing us. The reason that we got Jinder Mahal as WWE champion is because of bullshit like this. Oh, he works really hard in the gym. He's buff. He's this. Everybody likes him. And then we have to see him fucking wrestle, and it's awful.
I mean, hey.
Look, I'm not saying make the guy champion. I'm just saying that, hey, he seems to be putting the work in. He's doing the Cody thing.
This is the problem, is people saying this bullshit like you're saying right now. He's putting in the work. He went on a diet. He's the first one in the gym and the last one. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to see flips, my nigga. Flips. He got 0 flips. This guy doesn't flip at all. He used to wear fucking suspenders hanging out with fucking Happy Corbin.
Yeah, at least he stopped wearing the suspenders. But no, man, this was a downer of a night, and I think that was part of why I was just alert all night. I was like, yeah, this just sucks. Like being excited for Forbidden Door, since it was announced, and like knowing like no, Punk's gonna make
Chicago, dude. Fuck,
Chicago.
I was very salty. And then, of course, people doing what they're going to do and, throwing dirt on the guy and trying to call him a botcher and, certain wrestlers throwing shade at him. It's like, get over yourself.
One particular wrestler did, and nobody. And the thing is, that one wrestler, has no fans.
I just think people need to learn and I know that I'm preaching to a wall with this when I say about the internet. I just think people need to learn when something just doesn't matter, man. Like we make such a big deal out of things that don't matter. Like this dude, in a blink of an eye, lost an opportunity, and I think like that was what I took away from it. I just feel bad for the guy, and people were doing all this other stuff like, oh, when are they gonna announce this? It doesn't matter. You're gonna get the match. You're gonna calm down, everybody.
And they already announced it.
Yeah. So I hadn't read this press release yet, so I suppose I will pull this madness up
Enlighten
now.
us, William.
So it is the All Elite Wrestling presents the AEW Interim World Championship Eliminator Series.
Okay.
The multi-stage Eliminator Series. I won't read all the stuff about the entry, but it says an exciting battle royal featuring many of the top competitors in AEW, which will open the broadcast of AEW Dynamite this Wednesday from the Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri, with the winner advancing to compete in the main event. Hey, that arena, that's where Kenny Omega faced Pac in the Iron Man match. So that's a great crowd. At least that show was, in particular. So hopefully we get some of the same great shit. It says that same night, the winner of the Battle Royal will meet former AEW World Champion and #1 ranked Jon Moxley in an eliminator match in the main event of Dynamite, with the winner advancing to compete for the interim AEW World Championship at Forbidden Door on June 26th, live from the sold-out United Center in Chicago. Meanwhile, on June 12th, this is the part people were missing.
Okay.
Because everybody was wondering, but who's he facing? Who would the winner of all that face? On June 12th at Dominion, the winner from the historic Osaka Joe Hall, highly decorated New Japan stars and longtime rivals Hiroshi Tanahashi and Goto will face off in an eliminator match for the interim AEW World Championship, with the winner then advancing to Forbidden Door.
Like, bro, where'd they find Goto at? They woke him up to get in this match? Like, what is that?
So the winner of those two matches will then go on. So I think the piece people were missing is who. Now I think it's going to be Tanahashi. I think it's
Definitely.
Tanahashi and Moxley is what we're probably getting.
This is the match we thought we were getting without the belt originally. That's why I thought it was kind of weird that they announced Punk and Tanahashi anyways, but I get why they did, and so I get where they're going with it also.
Yeah, so Moxley and Tanahashi is probably what we're getting for the interim championship.
But you also never know. They could throw a wrench in all those plans and just go with fucking Bryan Danielson like we all want to see.
I mean, who wins the Battle Royal will be really exciting and interesting, and I'm curious to see what happens. Also, side note, speaking of Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, look, I've said before that my son's favorite wrestler all time is probably Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why this kid, I pulled up at my house yesterday, sidewalk chalk. This kid wrote BCC all over.
Let's go, baby.
Like everything is all over my driveway, the sidewalk. I said, man, somebody's going to think this is like Blood Crip something. I don't know.
Right.
Blood Crip. Like the Blood Crip connection? I don't know. Like, hey, it's finally peace. It's all peace out here, right? That's how this
works. That's not how any of this works.
It's all peace out here, right? Like, this is how we're doing it.
And they don't use graffiti cans. They don't use paint cans anymore. They use chalk.
They use sidewalk chalk, yeah. But he wrote BCC all over everything. And I was like, what's going on, Billy? He's like, it's Blackpool Combat Club. It's like,
it's
okay.
lit, baby. He's really big fan of my song. Thanks, Billy. I appreciate you bumping that new Righteous Reg, Blackpool Combat Club on righteousreg.bandcamp.com. All
over everything, though.
That's amazing.
So that was great. But
like that group is not supposed to be for the kids, but they're for the kids, as we can see. Their matches are filled with blood.
But you know what, though? That group having the world title might actually be kind of cool, especially considering they would have it going into Blood and Guts,
right?
If Moxley were to win it. So, like, there's that, too.
I'm here for it.
So,
definitely.
But then there's people who are like, or why not put it on Tanahashi? Blow some minds.
Really fuck some shit up. But I think it feels like for the most part, people are with Moxley, and I don't think anyone is going to be upset if he's gets the championship again.
I mean, I've seen people throwing out ideas, and I've seen Miro thrown out. I've seen I've seen people saying, why not try something new? Capitalize on Wardlow. Put it on him. I wouldn't be so against those ideas, but I do recognize that there was probably a creative summer plan to have a top babyface as champion, and that was going to be CM Punk. And if you want to still stick with the same creative plans, Moxley is probably the only person that's on Punk's level as a babyface that you
Yep.
could just kind of swap him out with and still stick with all the same plans. You don't
Yes.
don't necessarily miss a beat
Agreed.
with Moxley as a top babyface. So I think
Maxwell
Moxley's
makes
the guy.
sense too. I mean, I think that is the least likely, but Maxwell does make
That's
a lot of sense.
that'll just work in every. I think
That would
in
work
every
too.
way.
You
yeah.
could go with MJF and not
Yeah.
necessarily lose anything either. So
The thing that I did get excited about of him being out is just thinking like, yo, this is 2011 Summer of Punk. He's gonna come back just like when he debuted Code of Personality, and they're gonna do the dueling belts.
Yep.
yeah.
And MJF's gonna leave. He says he's gonna leave forever, but he really only gonna leave for 2 weeks and come right back and do the match.
Oh, see, I hope there's some patience around that idea if that's what's pulled off.
Right. Because they did not have patience over there. They were like, "Yo,
Nah.
run it! Like we're on it." And they, like everybody wanted them to have. Like wrestling fans never want people to have patience, but in that moment, they were like, "We need patience with this CM Punk thing," and they were like, "Nah." So yeah, hopefully over here, if they do that, that's what happens. Yeah, Max could definitely be in there. But I mean, you know me, I don't give a fuck. I like chaos. I would love for them to give it to somebody we never expected, like fucking Peter Avalon or something. I don't know.
Peter, what? What?
No, man. I did once have a universe mode where out of
Peter
nowhere,
Avalon, you guys.
I was gonna say Shane McMahon won the WWE Championship, and I was just like, "What the fuck happened here?" Oh, and
I
I'm
thought
like,
I
"What
went
do-
too far with Peter Avalon, but Shane McMahon's good. Don't say his name out loud. He could possibly win this thing. I don't know.
Nah.
Here comes the money, just like randomly, like yo,
Shuffling
what
his
the fuck
feet
is
and
Shane
doing those
doing
terrible
here, bro?
work punches. Nah.
Ooh, yeah, no, yeah. So CM Punk is gone, man. Speedy recovery to the homie. He's had an amazing run since he debuted at fucking All Out, the week before All Out or Last Dance or whenever the fuck it was. It's been
Dance.
First Dance, yeah. It's been a crazy ride. He's been doing everything he's doing is on fire. He's had a bunch of fire matches, The Eddie Kingston promos were insane. Great run. We're so excited
he's
how
had a
he's
great
done when he
comeback,
came
man.
back. Yeah, seriously. So
He's had
speedy
a real
recovery.
great comeback, and I just, man, I feel like that was supposed to be his crowning moment of the summer.
Right.
It just sucks that that's going the way it is, but you know, at least it doesn't sound like the injury is that bad that he can possibly come back soon. Hopefully, he'll be back by All Out. I don't know the timetable. I don't know, man. The real downer.
Joshua Falco asks, "How would you feel about Jungle Boy and Christian Cage being the final two, and JB eliminates Christian Cage, and that sparks the heel turn for Christian?" I mean, that would be a callback to Double or Nothing last year, where those were the final two, and Christian was eliminated by Jungle Boy. Which actually, you know what? I feel like the Jungle
Samoa
Boy,
Joe.
I think, has the most Battle Royal victories in AEW, doesn't he? Because I think they really like that spot he does where he could do the head scissors to the outside.
Yeah.
And so, because he won that Battle Royal to face Cody for the TNT title as well. And Orion Ben says, best part of the video was Denise behind Reg. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Alex says, I love that Will is wearing a Mariah Carey shirt while immediately addressing the lawsuit. I stand. I love the show so much.
Look, Alex,
Thank
we
you.
know what the fans want. We know that as Will Washington was crying, he cried himself to sleep thinking about this case right here. So we had to address it.
Look,
that was the
man,
only thing that needed to happen here today.
If we go, like, I recognize that most of Mariah's income at this stage is like, all I want for Christmas is you. And like literally, if she never puts out another song, now she does it for us, the Lambs. She does put out music.
The
new music.
Lambs.
She's still
What
recording
is
new music. That's Mariah Carey fans. We're the Lamely. What do you? But you know what?
The Lamely.
The Lamely. We're the Lamely. Hashtag Lamely. The Lambs know. All the Lambs know what's up. But
All right.
look, all right. Well, I'm not doing this. Do we got to go through them again?
The
Do we gotta go through-
Lamely.
Do we got to go through caution? Do we got to go through me? I am Mariah, the elusive chanteuse. Do we got to go through Merry Christmas to you?
The
How about
Chanteuse.
Yeah. Nah. What about Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel? No. Where is the? Hold up. Greatest album of all time, Butterfly. We got. Where is it?
The Lamely is going lit right now.
Yeah, we are. Hold up.
Sounds like he has a lot of them.
No, I do. Are you kidding me? Rainbow. We got Glitter. Come on, man.
You own
We got
Glitter,
Daydream. My favorite album of all time, Emancipation of Mimi.
My stomach's hurting, guys.
Charm Bracelet. Hold up. What do we got? E equals MC squared. We go into the classics.
Titles.
We got Music Box. We got just the original Mariah Carey, the debut album.
That is a lot of Mariah Carey CDs, you guys. Ooh.
It is. And then, so wait, this was Emotions, my bad. And then we have the original Mariah Carey CD, the original. Come on, man. This is what we do. Also, shout out John Moxley here. I have the book as well.
Where's Honey?
That was on Butterfly. That's the opening track on Butterfly.
Yo, that Jada verse on that joint? Come on, man.
All the money in the world couldn't even amount to a teaspoon of honey let melt in your mouth.
No, that was
it's the
hard.
Locks and Mariah's. You checking us out? You know
They thought my man didn't have lady songs, bro, in that verses. What y'all talking
when
about,
that
bro?
debuted on BET, I was like, "This is it." Like,
yeah,
it has been achieved. Whatever it is, this is it.
Oh yeah, they had them gold shiny suits.
Mariah was looking like
$150
million. Oh my God, she was fine. Jeez Louise, I wanted to lick her back.
Yo, come on, that bass line, that joint. Come on, man.
Shit was dope though. Yeah, I have them all, obviously. Wait, do I have Merry Christmas? I think Merry Christmas is missing from here. Otherwise, I have all the Mariah Carey albums, every single one of them. And that's what I do. Anyway, thank you, Alex. Our queen of the ring.
Y'all didn't want to lick Mariah Carey's back? Yo, that back looked crazy, bro. Just one up, down, you know? Let's move on, you guys.
Okay.
And again, I'm always going to butcher the name, but if you give me like a pronunciation key, that would help. He says, "Yo, Phil, how are you awake and kicking after all that ranting? Also, shout out to that piece of art that looks like Reg."
That was hilarious. I don't know. A part of me never sleeps, bro. A part of me is always awake.
Honestly. Yeah.
Stay woke. And he says, "Will on Sour Graps someday." Someday. Let's see. We have I would love to see Swerve or Tony Stark's
Iron Man
versus Tanahashi for the interim title. Thanks to you cats for putting on the best show every week. I think I would at least like to see the tease. I think ultimately you go with Moxley because he's still a big deal. People love him. I think he's having the best run of matches he's had pretty much his whole career right now.
Yeah.
But I think you could tease somebody like that, like have, like a Ricky Starks win the Battle Royal or a Swerve win the Battle Royal. That would be dope. Because I think we should get kind of a first-time matchup with Moxley in that main event Wednesday.
Yeah.
Shanika says,
I agree.
"This was a week, huh? Finally able to catch you live for the first time in a while and wanted to drop some love. Keep doing what you're doing." Thank you, Shanika. Always appreciate
Thanks, Shanika. Always super dope. Appreciate
that. Andrew the Giant says, "Seeing Reg slandering future world champ Madcap Moss. Poor show. Congrats on Paige Van Zandt's theme. Love you guys."
Thanks, Andrew. That's awesome. Yeah.
Andrew the Giant is funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Got another one from D-Lo Diggs. It says, "Sup, bro?
D-Lo.
Hope everything's good, y'all. I'm here for the Vegas stories, man. What a week."
It was hot.
Yeah.
I went to GCW. I had a great time. What else did I do? I drank. That's it. Yeah.
MJ Johnson says, "Confirmed West Coast is bad for legs. Hope our champions get well soon."
I don't know what the hell was happening out here, but yeah, West Coast.
I know, especially because the crowds were so lit.
Crowd. Oh my God, that crowd for Rampage last night was hot fire. Oh my God, yeah. I don't know. Shit, it's slippery out here or something. I don't know. Fucking shit. Sorry, you guys.
I know, right? Although I sparked the whole thing in the replies of my tweet when I was giving shout out to that Ontario crowd. So I said that they were super hot. I felt like they helped make that Bucks match that much better. And I said, make sure you guys don't skimp on SoCal again like that, because they've hit a lot of the Northeast markets. They've hit Florida a million times. So give SoCal that much love.
Cali,
and then
baby.
I had people talking about, what about NorCal? And then people arguing back and forth.
NorCal. Yeah, sorry. I want to see NorCal for sure.
And I had people arguing back and forth about which is better, Southern California, Northern California. And I'm like, man, I was just shouting out the crowd. I don't care about any of that.
I don't care what you tweet sometimes.
And y'all are both the same. North Cal and Southern Cal, stop fighting. It's all the same fucking battle. We're all living here. Y'all are a little super pretentious out in LA, but they're super pretentious here in fucking the Bay Area too. It's the same. Everybody's the same. Everybody's just working too much. All you're doing is working to fucking pay rent. That's all. We're all doing the same, so we can't fight with each other. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't care what you tweet sometimes. There'll be a ton of replies that are like, no, do this, no, do that. No,
That's why I tweeted the other day. I'm so happy that Miro came back, because we couldn't talk about. Anytime you mention AEW, they'd be like, "Bring back Miro." I'm like, bro, I'm not talking about Miro. He don't got enough. We're talking about women's wrestling. What about Miro? It's like, yo, what? So
I'm so glad he's
Miro
back,
for
though.
coming back.
Yeah.
Jeez,
that promo was fire too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that promo was fire.
And he's just insane on the promos. Keep doing the promos every fucking week, man. He's good. He's really good.
RH says, whoops, Ricky Star too. I was thinking about Tony's booking. That's all good. We knew what you meant.
Yeah, we got you.
Yo,
Yeah.
if
But we're gonna have fun with it.
That graphic he put out there, if you guys want to give him Ospreay, we'll take it.
I'm gonna take that times a million. Yes, I would like that.
Grand B says, shout out to my bots, and that could mean anything.
Fuck WWE. Oh hell yeah, that's what it means.
Is it fuck? That could be tick. That could be rock.
No, it's not.
That could be
Rock WWE.
Suck. That could be.
I guess it could be.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's it, bro.
It could be pink. I don't know. It could be a lot of things. Oh hell yeah! It could be heck.
Heck WWE. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Wrestle Voice says, you guys are awesome. Glad to be able to watch live. Not comparing companies, but the situation that AEW is in currently, one that WWE would have issues with because they've not built anyone.
Yeah, imagine if this happened over there, they wouldn't know. They like AEW has like 5 guys they could seriously put it on right now to be dope. Over there, they're like,
I know what Phil's about to say, and
look
I'm
at
just
their situation.
prepared for it.
Look at the state they're in. Like, yo.
Roman's not even hurt, but he's not there, and
they're now saying he's not doing Money in the Bank. That's the report. Yeah, I feel like let's just call it what it is. It was a mistake to put 2 titles on him. When you
some
when
people
you put
didn't
all of your
think
eggs in
that
one
on their
basket,
timeline.
you put yourself in a trick bag. That's just what it is.
That's a bar.
Hold up. Isaiah says, thought I was done super chatting, but what kind of phone Will got? WTF, get y'all super chats in. Will's down bad.
Yeah, we were talking about Will and his. He said it's
it's the Google
Pixar
Pixel
movie or
No,
something.
the Google Pixel 6. Literally, the phone you keep seeing advertised on all
Doesn't
NBA
that sound
games.
like a Pixar movie, you guys? That sounds like the next movie, Google Pixel 6, and there's a little girl.
You know what's funny
She's trying
is
to
that
expel her. Yeah, I get it.
It's the 6 Pro, and not just that, but the funny thing I hear is that y'all iPhone users talk all your shit, but I swear to you, every time I took a picture throughout the weekend, somebody will look at it and go, damn, dude, what'd you take that picture with? And I'm like, just my phone. This is where it happens.
He's trying to sell it, you guys. He's really trying to sell it. I don't know. He's on the Google Pixel 6 payroll for some reason because he wants everybody.
I mean,
to
if
buy
y'all
this
want to
phone.
send me free pixels, because I've had every pixel except the 3. If you want to send me the Google Pixel every year, that'd be great. Come on, Google, I'll take it. # Team Pixel. I love the Pixel though.
I do not stand behind that. # team. They're ruining our lives. Apple, MacBook, phone. Like, there's all kind of products in here. They're listening to me all over, you guys. It's awful.
Nah,
They don't stop listening.
I like to mix it up because, like, one, I keep an iPad, and so it's like I have iOS. And then people who've known me a long time know I've been an Android guy as far as what I keep in my pocket. Plus, my wife has an iPhone, so like, I like having the best of both worlds. To me, I think the best Android phone is the Pixel, and best iPhone's obviously the iPhone because there's only one. And so
One and done, baby.
So that's the thing is like my wife's got an iPhone 12 right now. She skipped the 13 this year, but between the two of us, we always have like whatever the best phone is out on both sides of it, and so we like to just have them both. I think they're both great. I don't. I used to be like really anti iPhone, but then I'm like, it's all the fucking same.
It's all silly. Yeah.
It's all the. I will say like years ago when it was like, hey, my phone can do this. Well, my phone can do this. Now they literally all do the same thing.
Everybody's phone can do everything.
Everybody's phone can do everything. There's literally now you're just arguing over the color of bubbles. But like other than that, like they literally all do the exact same thing. Nothing's all that different. Whatever. Anyway, I'm happy with my Pixel 6. I actually got it at launch. It's the opposite of being down bad. I paid way too much for it, but. I'm happy. Although then Pixel 7 leaks. No, don't do it. Wait for the 8. Don't do it.
No, don't do it. Please don't do it. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got. We have shout out everybody in the chat, by the way. I see a lot of friends in the chat.
Yeah, y'all out there moving.
Yeah, so I'm always happy with that. And Carlos says the Lammy section.
That was wild.
Yeah, hey, shout out to my fellow lambs though, for real. And what else do we have here? Ronan says, I wish we were getting a tournament instead of a battle royal because I'm hoping we see some new faces in the title picture like Lee, Kingston, Swerve, Hobbs, and Wardlow. I think they're kind of looking up and thinking
it's just time.
We've got a pay-per-view coming up like really soon here. And we have the opportunity to kind of play off of Dominion coming up. So like it's one of those we have to get to crowning a champion at Forbidden Door.
And Dominion's when Jay White's getting the strap, Phil?
I kind of feel like it's coming.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Once that report came out about the Okada match for Forbidden Door, I'm not as sure anymore.
But then again, then it got debunked.
Yeah, so I was going to say, they said that wasn't it. So,
yeah. I think Tony straight up just corrected saying that's not the plan.
Nope, not here.
So
Tony was like, which whiteboard you saw? Not mine.
Reggie says, just showing the Graps crew some love. Peace to the gods. Thank you.
Shout
out. And Steph, the writer, says, am I the only one who thinks they're giving Bianca the Kofi Big E treatment? Need some Grapsody boys' opinion. I think she'll retain. We're about to talk about that card. That's actually the next topic. Are you sure? Reg, we all wanted to lick her back.
See? I know.
Look, I'm the big Mariah Carey fan here, and I'm trying to keep it respectful. I guess you could respectfully lick it back. What am I talking about?
I'm saying, yeah, it's always respectful when I do it.
And Curtis says, y'all see the people they got coming out the Warrior Wrestling show right before Forbidden Door. Also, I'm going to Milwaukee for Dynamite. I hope these injuries don't mess up those shows. Me too.
Yeah. I mean,
seriously.
At this point, I'm planning to go to Warrior Wrestling 24 that afternoon. So,
I felt like
it's the same day.
Like, do you remember? So, oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Forbidden Door. I got my ticket booked finally. I get in Saturday afternoon, and I leave Monday morning. So I'll have some time. I'm not doing my flight's bad, but it's not that bad.
What does that mean?
So I leave Monday morning. I'm not leaving at 1 a.m., so I'll be able to stick around for all the coverage and stuff. However, my flight's at 5 a.m., so
it's the same thing.
No, at least I'm not like rushing out. I can chill for a little bit, but there's gonna be some gaps in there. And
classic.
Yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way.
Reginald.
That's how you do it. You wouldn't have it any other way. You'd be traveling like a wrestler, but not even, because the wrestlers be having extra time, and you're like, no extra time.
Yeah, no extra time. I got to get back. I might not even take Monday off of work. just like land at 6 a.m. and
Grind, baby. The grind. Let's
just grind.
go.
So next story. That's right, folks. We're talking about Heck in a Sec.
Damn, and I thought we were talking about Max. I don't want to talk about this shit.
Hell,
Philip Lindsey, it's in Chicago, Illinois. Are you going to
I
be
do not
in
have a ticket
attendance?
book, my friend. Have you seen this card?
Nah, man, this is Raw presents Hell in a Cell, also featuring special guests Madcap Moss and.
Oh God!
On the keyboard.
No.
But there's really one SmackDown match on this show, and everything else is Raw.
Man.
That's
No,
pretty
you don't
insane.
have the head of the table to come through, so
There are 7 matches announced for this show. We are going to see Madcap Moss take on Happy Corbin, the only SmackDown match, and No Holds Barred. Come on, Reg. No Holds Barred.
Oh, that's awful. There's
Madcap
one match on
Moss is
SmackDown,
gonna-
and that's it.
Madcap Moss is going to get revenge for having his neck pilmanized by Happy Corbin.
Ew.
yep.
Yeah.
Next one, please. Let's move on.
All right. How
Ugh.
about 6-person mixed tag match? We are going to see, as the internet has dubbed them, the new Bullet Club taking on Finn Balor. So that is the team of Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan taking on the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day. Come on, guys. Get on board. Hell in a Cell.
So yeah, all right.
Is it in the Hell in the Cell?
No.
It's just a match.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just a mixed tag match.
I'm not gonna be mad at it. I like all the people in here. I'm not
Come on,
gonna
man.
eat
Look,
that one.
yo.
This is a
Nah,
good
Too
one.
sweet. Too
The
sweet.
new
too sweet.
WWE Bullet Club. I'm into it. Yeah, that's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, I mean, we like
They
everybody in
are-
this match. I don't necessarily.
they are
No, I mean,
not Bullet Club,
okay,
bro.
actually, not being sarcastic here. I will say I like everybody in this match, and I don't. I mean, I don't. I mentioned last week I don't care for Judgment Day as a group or concept or entrance, but as wrestlers,
They're great.
yeah,
sure.
great.
I love Damian Priest and I love Rhea Ripley and Edge. You know,
No, they're great as wrestlers, but that whole purple light thing and the promos are nah.
no.
WWE United States Championship on the line. Austin Theory,
Very. Yeah.
Theory takes on Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
If they had any sense, they should give Ali the win in his hometown. But we know where this is going.
Definitely not.
A-Town Down is about to win.
Big facts.
Everybody's going, hoping to get Portillo's, but nope, you're not getting nothing because you're just going to get...
They might try to embarrass Mustafa Ali because it's in Chicago, which is awful, but that's what they do. So it's going to be a great match. Those two guys can go. Theory sucks, as we know, but that's going to be a good match.
That'll be a fun match, I think.
Yeah.
Both athletic guys, both, can move well. Yeah, it'll be a solid match.
Ezekiel goes one-on-one with Kevin Owens.
Oh,
Remember when they told us that, getting that match with Stone Cold was going to put Kevin Owens in a better position?
I mean, I will say that this is one of the funnier things happening on Raw. That as long as this kind of ends here, I
it
think
won't.
it's not.
like
It's not.
I think Kevin Owens is doing some great work here with the Ezekiel stuff. Do I necessarily care for Ezekiel? Not really.
No.
But I think Kevin Owens going insane over the idea that nobody else seems to have their right frame of mind going. I like Kevin Owens.
I did like how I watched a little bit of him on SmackDown with Sami Zayn, where he's like, "Sammy, come help me over here on Raw." And Sammy's like, "Nah, bro, I'm done with that." I did like that, just because I like anytime they have interactions together. So
Yeah.
Yeah, PWG Young Boy Reg over here.
you know how it is. You know what's up.
Yeah. No IC title match, huh?
That's
no,
for
that-
next. That's on SmackDown next week. Ricochet against a Gunther, which should be a great
I
match
think
if they're
Gunther's
given
about
time.
to get your boy up out of here.
I would agree. Yeah, definitely.
Although somebody pointed out that the Intercontinental title has not been defended on pay-per-view since WrestleMania 37.
Ooh.
And
And got
That is
And
a
I don't-
long time.
I don't know how they managed to not defend it here when you had every ability to.
Right.
Yeah, look, Ricochet out here looking kind of down bad, bro. He said he was going to be defending it on pay-per-views, and he hasn't been able to live up to his promise. Then I had SmackDown in the background, and My man out there dancing on his girl. I was like,
Big
this is
Shanky
flagrant.
was
What's
all
going
over
on?
his
Shanky,
girl, huh?
Shanky is in the building getting his dances off. Like, what is this? Yo, I feel like that's so
Shanky
real
shaking
flagrant
it
to
up
me,
in
bro.
front of your girl, bro. Big
I once
Shanky.
talked to a wrestler who was pitched the dancing gimmick, and what he said to me
Why do they do that?
was
You gotta dance.
they said at one point, and I remember Lance Storm also did an interview when he was given the dancing gimmick of like, they're kind of death, right? Like, you know that nobody, there's never been anybody who had a dancing gimmick that later went on to like big things. Like,
You're not about
Rikishi
to be the dancing world champ.
Rikishi was the closest, but like
Rikishi, I would say probably Victoria because she did the little dancing gimmick for a minute.
did she ever win the title again after the dancing gimmick though? I don't think she
I
did.
think she did other feuds and stuff after that. I don't remember though.
But I don't think she ever got the title
But
again
yeah,
after the dancing gimmick.
when it was Rikishi, they made him. They tried to make him a badass after the dancing to
that
be like,
is weird
forget
when you
about the
think about
dancing,
it.
you know?
It was like, yo, you're a babyface now, Victoria. Get out there and dance to Nicki Minaj, and somehow, yeah, that was weird.
I mean, I wasn't mad at it, Victoria.
No,
dancing.
but mostly I'm talking about male wrestlers, like when they've
Yeah.
assigned them dancing gimmicks, because like obviously Naomi had made a career coming in as a dancer.
Remember when they randomly sent Sasha to 205 Live to dance?
Oh yeah, with Rich Swann. That was random.
Yes, and so then we have a 2-on-1 handicap match. Robert Lashley will take on Omos and MVP.
This card, bro. This card is oof. Listen. Let get his win off and let's end this feud once and for all. Come on.
I am happy that there's only one Hell in the Cell match, like, because I hate when they just like use it to progress the feud. Like, it should be to end a feud. I hate how they swayed away from what the Hell in the Cell came for when it was just like, oh, it's the third match in their series. No, it used to be like, this is the final match. It's over after this. So I'm happy that there's only one on
it's
the
weird.
show.
Well, the weird thing is that because I had that complaint for a long time too, that like it's hard to have a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell when like the attraction of Hell in a Cell was that this feud has finally reached its boiling point.
Right.
Now it's time for Hell in a Cell. And the thing is, WWE has done that recently, right? Where Edge and Seth Rollins had a Hell in a Cell match that didn't take place at Hell in a Cell. It took place at was that Crown Jewel?
Yeah.
That's Crown Jewel.
At Crown Jewel, and they've shown us that they have the ability to just go Hell in a Cell at any other point without having it have to be at this pay-per-view. And that has always felt more meaningful than just doing it at the pay-per-view. Hell, just thinking 10 years ago when while the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was still active and they had literally just done a bunch of meaningless Hell in a Cell matches at Hell in a Cell, but then they were like, WrestleMania, it's going to be Triple H versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. And it's like, okay, this one matters because this is where this naturally went. Those other ones like didn't. You just did them because that was the
It
name
was
of the pay-per-view.
October or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I will say that I am looking forward to these two main event matches. We have for the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair taking on Asuka and Becky Lynch in a triple threat match.
Yeah, that's going to be fire. Super fire.
That's going to be a good match. I'm a little worried that Asuka's there to take the pin. But
well, and other people are worried. That's what they're saying in the chat, that Bianca's there to transition the belt into the Becky Asuka feud.
I don't think it is. I think Bianca's gonna retain, if I had to guess.
Now, I guess I can see that concern if, like, I guess who is waiting in the wings for Bianca? Because obviously the Becky and Asuka feud is going to continue. That feud hasn't resolved. And so that is where I see people having concern about, like, Bianca is the one who kind of has nothing going on after this unless they move up like Alexa Bliss for. But otherwise, Bianca's got nothing. It's Asuka and Becky who have the continuing feud. Do they just take the title and move it there? I don't think that's what they'll do. I think they'll find somebody for Bianca. I think you do have Alexa. I think you do have Doudrop as an option. I think you do have, but none of those feel as big as Asuka and Becky.
Want to see another Bianca Doudrop match?
Oh yeah, you kind of exhausted that one.
Please don't.
It's weird. I started naming the women and I realized we've done all of this. because I know Zelina Vega just revealed she's hurt. And yeah, Asuka Becky, I guess, does feel like the biggest women's program they can do right now.
That's a shame. What's Bianca gonna do? I think they're leading to the her and Rhea Ripley are gonna have a big showdown.
Oh yeah, they could
not anytime soon though. You know,
there's that as an option too.
Yeah.
Because I know that they just moved Lacey Evans back to SmackDown. So
Again,
yes, you started with the promotion of her on SmackDown, moved her to Raw, then decided actually she needs to be back on SmackDown because SmackDown's women's division is kind of bare at the moment.
watching the video package they put together for Lacey last night for her to go back to SmackDown, I was like, yo, if you look at this with the sound off, it sounds like they're playing that and I'm proud to be an American because at least I know I'm free.
And pass me a cold Budweiser.
And I proudly stand up.
The Lacey Evans stuff is so nasty, man. I
Yeah,
cannot.
it looks
I
so.
absolutely
It
cannot.
looks so.
I mean, I think it belongs
contrived.
on SmackDown, to be honest, because, like, do you ever see them commercials during the middle of SmackDown where they'll be showing ads for Fox Nation? Subscribe to Fox Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, Lacey Evans is, like, for
You're
that
right.
audience. Like,
Fox.
this is...
yes, you're
yeah,
right.
it does
Mhm.
look. It looks. I don't know. It looks very contrived.
Like, I don't know.
Every
She
time
looks like a Fox News anchor to me.
She
looks
does.
Like
Yo.
Yeah, she does. Damn.
I'm sorry, she does.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Yo.
Yeah, no, for real. Ay, yikes.
Yo.
Ooh.
So, I don't know. That's what I picture for Lacey Evans. And finally, inside Hell in a Cell, Cody Rhodes will go one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
I
If
hate
there-
that that's not a nickname, by the way. I have to say, it feels weird when people are just like in conversation and saying, "So Cody Rhodes, you're gonna face Seth freaking Rollins this week," and I'm like, I hate that they just made that his name because
It's in character.
I know, but again, he says it, it's fine. I'm Seth freaking Rollins. But then it's like weird when Kayla Braxton is just talking about matches and she's just like, yeah, now we're going to talk to Seth freaking Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always figured my theory on why he changed it is because he wants to remind everybody who he was, because that's when everybody loved him, when he was Seth freaking Rollins and he wore the glove. And so he's like, no, everybody say it with me. That's when I was great. That is my nickname. Say it. Everybody say it with me.
But it's not a nickname anymore. It's just his name.
Yeah. So, man, this is the only match that I've been really interested in that I'm like, yo, if any of the matches at the pay-per-view I want to see live, it's this one, but it is not worth getting a ticket to go and just see this one match. It is not. There's nothing else on this card that I'm as excited for.
Cody and Seth have been delivering. They delivered at WrestleMania. They delivered at WrestleMania Backlash. And those
25
matches
times at the house shows.
and those matches, for the most part, didn't really have any heat to them. And that was kind of the point, right? That it was just Cody's just happy to be here. He's just here to do his thing. Seth Rollins, of course, is angry that Cody's here. And the feud finally became personal after Backlash, because that's when Seth took it there. The promo this week, by the way, was interesting. That they did bring up AEW stuff. That Seth Rollins straight up said, "You went to try and I like that they played off of the stuff Seth Rollins had said before about how you and your little friends went to try and start your own thing, to try and take food off my plate. You don't get to smash the throne."
Yeah, Cody hit him with me and your friend. What do you mean, my little friend? That's what he should have said. I was there with your friend.
But then the line of "you don't get to smash the throne and then try to come back to the kingdom," that was a great line too.
Okay, I like
it. Man, Rollins be cooking, bro. When he got that weight belt back out of the crowd and proceeded to beat Cody with it, that was amazing. That was great. And then Cody like pathetically picked it back up and then gave it back to the kid and limped back. I was like, yo, this is why I think Rollins is just such a great heel, because he knows how to get that kind of performance out of guys.
He's good.
He is good.
That'll be a good match, a great match. They'll
Yeah,
do
and
it.
that's the main event. Like Cody,
And the women's match will be good too. I'm pretty sure it will be good.
Cody's gonna definitely trying to get on his Bret Hart and accidentally have blood, like Bret Hart would in this match. I'm sure he'll somehow be like, "Oh, it was an accident. I'm covered in blood, Vince. I don't know what happened."
He'll find a way to bleed.
It's Cody.
He'll find a way. But yeah, I hope that
either that or his forehead's gonna be looking like it did at WrestleMania, where it's just like red from trying to get there hard way.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is gonna be good, but in the feud here, we don't need more than 3 matches.
No.
Make this the rubber match. Move him on to the next program.
I mean, it seems like he doesn't quite have a next program yet. I have a feeling this match will happen, and then they'll do Money in the Bank, where I think he's clearly
He doesn't really have to have a program going into Money in the Bank, right?
I think his next program will come out of the Money in the Bank, where like somebody else in that match will probably be his next program.
Your boy Cody's probably winning that Money in the Bank briefcase.
He's winning the money.
Yeah, definitely.
He was rolling around Vegas on that Money in the Bank truck.
Yeah, I saw Cody's face more than I saw any AEW wrestler's face out there in Vegas. The promotion is up for them, for sure.
I mean, he's the guy. And I was trying to say that, like, coming out of WrestleMania, as soon as WrestleMania ended, I said Cody is the top babyface of WWE.
That's why I keep saying he's the hottest babyface on the roster right now.
He is. He's the top babyface in WWE, like, period.
He is.
And I look back, and I remember when we first found out that he was a free agent, and I remember there was a number of people, because I had said, remember I was boarding the plane, and I knew about it, but Sean was going to break the story, but I knew I was going to be in the air, so I had tweeted, hope no groundbreaking, mind-blowing news happens while I'm in the air. And people were like, oh, what's going to happen? And then Sean announced that Cody was a free agent. And the comments on my stuff, some recognized that it was a big deal. But there were a few people who were like, oh, it's just Cody. Like, what does it matter? It's just Cody. WWE's not going to offer him a big bag. WWE, he doesn't matter. He'll go back and be a mid-carder in WWE.
A lot of
like,
people,
I don't think you recognize this is a big, mind-blowing deal.
Big
and
deal.
it was. He is in WWE. And he immediately came in top babyface. Didn't even skip a beat, didn't wait. It wasn't like he's going to be built up to be.
He only fucked around with 2 guys, Miz and Seth Rollins, and he was the top babyface. Right?
He's the top babyface. He's on the posters. He's got the main event of this show. They are going to put the Money in the Bank in his hands to basically say that this guy can become WWE
Any show that
champion very
Roman's
quickly.
not main eventing, he's going to be main eventing.
Pretty much. That's it. If there's no Roman on the show, it's going to be Cody as the main eventer. That's how much Cody very quickly became a main event guy.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of those WWE people that are like, this is not a big deal, are now all of a sudden Cody fans. So,
and I mean, good on Cody.
Flowers.
Like Cody, like I said, props to Cody, because Cody didn't have to change any motherfucking thing. Cody did not want to turn heel. He was like, no, you're not going to force me to turn heel. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And if I don't get to do it over here, I'm going to do it over here, where they'll cheer me for it, and they're cheering him for it.
Man, that
Now, some are worried that the Cody clock is going to turn fans, like, that people are going to get sick of that shit.
They are.
that BTE bit with Shivani looking into the camera and saying, countdown to Dark Order, hilarious.
Yeah, fans are definitely going to get tired of it because they get tired of everything. But then Cody's going to pivot. Cody's really fucking smart, man. He's going to make anything
playing
work.
politics out here, bro. It's politics as usual with him, bro.
Definitely.
Nah,
Big
Cody
facts.
is a smart dude, and he knows what he's doing out here.
He made a great move.
He did. It's worked for him better than anything else has ever worked for him. That gold right there, that WWE Championship right there. He's gonna have it.
It's his.
The question is it going to be a cash in for both belts, or does he just get one out of it?
I'm guessing one. You know, Roman's got to still have a gold belt around his waist, buddy.
Yeah.
He's got to feel important somehow, even though people won't acknowledge that it's getting stale. But
so what is this I keep hearing about the big SummerSlam matches, Roman and fucking Matt Riddle? Like how?
Well, so it was originally supposed to be Roman and Riddle at Money in the Bank, and then that was going to transition to Roman and Orton at SummerSlam.
Okay. Oh, it's getting Orton.
But Money in the Bank, Roman's not on Money in the Bank anymore since they're not doing the stadium. and so he's off that show. So I don't know if the Riddle feud is just going to stick around or not. And then you also have
They're trying to get to Randy Orton.
well, and then they just Drew McIntyre just challenged Roman to a match at Clash at the Castle.
Oh yeah, okay.
In September. So
And Drew's losing. Come on now.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, they could maybe give Drew a big W out in front of a whole bunch of those fans out there. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know. It sounded good. Sounded good for a second, but then I was like, oh yeah, right. No way. Roman's about to have his hands raised very high at the end of that show.
yes. Let's check in with our chatters. We have got damn it did the thing where it scrolls to the bottom and now I have to like go all the way back up.
Our chatters is funny.
Shot the boys.
So,
Shot the boys in the building.
damn, there's so many and I have to okay, I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
All right, first one we got, it says we didn't hear Reg talk about Ace Austin in the BC.
And the
I
real
love
Bullet
it.
Club.
I love it so much. I think it's a perfect pairing. Ace Austin destroyed it in the Best of Super Juniors. Great pick. Impact X Division champion. He's incredible. I love the new formed Bullet Club. I think all the new members are great. This is probably my favorite version of the Bullet Club in a really long time since like the original. I mean, they got Chris Bay, they got Ace Austin, Jay White. Like it's lit over there. The Good Brothers, like it's really lit for the Bullet Club right now. The real Bullet Club out in
man, except
New
no
Japan.
imposters, bro. There's only one catalyst.
I'm saying.
J14 says Will knows what's good. Team Android all day. Apple sucks. Again, it's all the same now, except there's one feature. One feature I can't live without anymore. I went 2 weeks that I left the Pixel, and because I thought all phones had this at this point, and so I left the Pixel for 2 weeks, and I was like, wait, y'all don't have call screening? Like, do you know how important that is to have call screening? Nobody else has call screening. That's a Pixel feature. And what I mean by call screening is that if you call my phone right now, I have 3 options: answer, screen call, decline. And usually I'll just hit screen call if I don't know who it is, and usually it'll just say the person you have called is using a screening service. Please state your name and why you're calling. And then when they do so, it'll pop up with a text on my phone saying, hey, it's blah, 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 blah. Do you wish to take this? And I could say later, no, don't call me again, or yes.
That's
and
a
then
lot.
and it's just like if I'm in a meeting or anything like that, or I just don't want to take the call. And the first time I got a call from a number I didn't recognize and I wasn't on my Pixel, and it pops up, and it just all that's there is answer and decline, and I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. I don't want to answer or decline. I want to screen the call. I want to know who it is before I answer. That is a feature that I've now had for like 5 years. Can't live without now.
You see, I don't ever answer my phone, so I don't give a fuck who's calling me. Like, bro, if you're gonna call me, leave a voicemail, or don't fucking call me and leave me a text mail. Why are you calling me? Only people calling me want some bills, and I'm not paying you your bills, man.
Well,
I'm
sometimes I'll get in where like it's my kids calling from like the nurse's phone at school, and it's a number I didn't recognize.
Yeah, see, you have a family. You have.
So I'll get those that say like the little text will pop up that says, Dad, it's me, pick up. And I'm like, okay, fine, pick up.
Sounds like prison almost.
That's exactly what it is. It's like the old collect calls, right? That you used
right. Hey, hold me down. It's your boy.
Damn. See, I always think about the opening to Stupid Doodoo Dumb by Mac Dre. The message he played at the beginning of it where homegirl's like, man, we got caught up. We went to jail today over some fucking bullshit. But anyway, we're going to get out today. So be home so we can go trick-or-treating tonight.
I love it.
Yeah.
Peace to Mac Dre. Rest in peace to Mac Dre.
Rest in peace, Mac Dre.
I just remember that. I think it was 10-10-3-2-1 commercial where the guy tries to say, it's Bob. We had a baby.
We had a baby. It's a boy. Yeah. We had a baby. It's a boy.
Think of that commercial. Taking him back, baby.
Yep. Deontay says, good to see the fam. Just started my new job. Twice as much. Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Let's go, baby.
Y'all gave me motivation. Thank you so much. Y'all be. P.S. Phil had the best tweets this week.
He always does.
He does. Phil gets them off. Shout out on the new job, though. I'm a
Yeah.
big believer in that. I can't
That's
believe
awesome.
I just got a notification. I got a letter that told me that I've been at my current job 3 years, and I went, "Oh, it's been that long? Guess it's time to start looking."
Yeah.
Because
Gotta go.
I mean, that's the thing.
Keep getting that money, baby.
For those who don't know what I do for a living, I'm a software developer. So like when you work in tech, especially, it is helpful to just like do what you gotta do and bounce. And the reason I stuck at this company so long, which this is the longest I've ever stayed in a single position, is 3 years. I've stayed with a company the longest 5, but I moved positions 4 times at that company in 5 years. And this is the longest I've ever stayed in a position. I realized it's the pandemic that I started at this job in 2019. I probably would have moved in 2020, but then I just kind of stuck with it. And then I look up and I'm like, what the hell? It's been 3 years at this job? Jeez. But yeah, I am a software developer. That's why I play around in both Android and iOS, because I also manage an app that's in both stores, and I have to be good with making sure it's functional in both. So I'm not going to tell you which app it is, but there is an app that I work on.
Yeah, baby. Well,
not
Washington.
Not that anybody would even know what to do with it, because it's got kind of a proprietary use. Let's see what we got.
We're getting to you, Max. Don't worry.
Yeah. We got Despair says, why is no one talking Archer for interim chair?
Oh, no. Move that. Take that off the screen.
When's the last time Archer caught a body, bro?
Oh, God. Take that off the screen. Hurry up. Oh, don't say that.
Just saying, man. He's always he's got the theme. Everybody dies. I ain't seen it, bro. It looks more like everybody lives.
Yeah, he does. Dustin watched him pretty recently.
Ronan Mike Clip says, do you think Cody gets a title with the rumors of The Rock having an open schedule at the beginning of next year? Do you have Roman lose a belt between now and then, or do you keep him undefeated? Look, if it were me, I don't think Roman versus Rock needs the title at all. I think that
the title was head of the fucking table.
I think
for their family.
Yeah, I don't think it needs a title. I think that I don't believe that The Rock cares about winning a championship now. And so, like, I wouldn't bring him in to do that. He doesn't need it.
It's not like when he did it in 2013. It wasn't needed then either. I don't know why.
Well,
but
the story in 2013 was once he beat Cena, he got the itch for a title. Like, it wasn't just like, I'm coming in for a championship. It was all right, now that I've done this.
My guy, man.
Like, because it was the next night, right? He beat the Cena at WrestleMania, and then the next night on Raw, he came out and he said, maybe The Rock should go for the WWE Championship. And that was the story there. But if he just comes back and is just like, yeah, I know I haven't wrestled a real match in, by that point, 10 years, but I just want the championship now. I don't know.
Sacrifice my guy's 1-year title reign.
Boo. Yeah.
And well, the thing is, also, there's not a chance The Rock wins. So, like, I feel like
he's definitely losing.
If you put the title on the line there, it's a waste for a lot of guys, for a lot of reasons. Like, I have always felt like part-timers coming back and challenging for the title is always a mistake, because to me, at least growing up, WrestleMania was supposed to be the culmination of a year's work. And if all these guys kind of spent the last year pining for the title, and then some dude just come, and I know it's The Rock. He's not.
I mean, the world champion's a part-timer now, so.
But like, The Rock just comes in, and I think this is just a summer thing. I don't necessarily think he's going to be.
I don't think he's going to be a full-time wrestler anymore. Ever.
I think he's going to have limited dates, but I think as far as TV is concerned, I think he's supposed to return back to TV once this break is up. But
give up that belt, boy.
It's time, man. Drop those titles, bro.
Come on, dude.
All right. Want to talk about Hood Slam real quick?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Hood Slam. Awesome. So cool. Great. Phenomenal. It was awesome. It was my second time ever commentating wrestling match. I got to commentate the main event, Creep Squad versus Wholesome Squad. This has been brewing on the internet for years. Yeah, I was going to say, it feels like so many years now. The main event was JTG, Brittany Wonder, and there's so many people. I was drunk and high at the same time too. Also, Suge
Drinking
was there.
champagne on an airplane.
Suge, Trisha Dora, and D Rogue against Ashton Starr, JTG, and Brittany Wonder. It was a great match. Faye Jackson was there, looking amazing, being awesome. She just completed her final day of physical therapy, so she had a couple spots in there. It was super cool to just see her, back in the ring doing her thing. Got a lot of people excited. She said she's retired, but she looked great out there, so everybody's like, what's up? But yeah, I got to commentate the match, got to put over Grapsody. It was live on Fight TV, so like there was a lot going on. Like people heard me be like, I'm on Grapsody, watch Grapsody tomorrow. Shout out to Hood Slam, Dark Sheik, of course, the owner of Hood Slam. Incredible talent, incredible wrestler, even more incredible person, just for giving me the opportunity to do my little thing over there. So yeah, shout out to Hood Slam. You could catch the replay right now on Fight TV. You could hear me talking shit like I do when I does it. There's some pictures online. You can see me in the background. I was having such a great time. Oakland, California, legit like a mile and a half from where I live. So it was a great moment, great times. Anybody else wants me to come on their show and talk some shit, I'm available. Only time I'm not available is Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. because I have a fucking podcast, Grapsody, baby. Now, shout out to Hood Slam. Shout out to everybody that was out there. It was such a great time, man. There's another show tonight. If you're in Oakland, California, this one's an all-women show, Glam. Same place, same time, same Fight TV. There's going to be a lot of great talent on there. So, do it, you guys.
Do it. Yeah, no, that's great times. I was seeing all the pictures and stuff, and seeing I saw Reg in the background. Like, it was cool shit. It was very happy to see.
I'm out here, baby. I'm doing anything that I can do. I'm gonna fucking do it. I fucking love pro wrestling. Not as fake. Nothing I do is fake. Nothing I do or say is for any other reason other than I really fucking love this shit for real. It's not a joke.
Yes.
Ho.
So I didn't even want to talk about this, but I said I would. And that was, I said I would talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it on Day After Dynamite this
What
week.
is this? What is this? I don't know what you're saying right now.
No, you know where this is going, and I wanted to have this discussion specifically with Black people. I felt like Day After Dynamite this week wasn't the right place to have it. That was me and Denise. Speaking of which, me and Denise Salcedo hosted that show. She's my roomie in Chicago. For Forbidden Door, but yeah, I didn't want to have that discussion with her. I felt that wasn't the appropriate person to have it with.
Keeping it 100, boy. Big boy.
I didn't know that was gonna get me good.
Yo, so
one.
I saw the response to this.
This is not a funny response. I'm sorry, guys. That just got me good.
No. So let's give
funny.
Let's give some context to this for people who aren't in the trenches of Twitter at times. So of course,
don't be in the trenches of Twitter. Find something else to do with your day.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was we saw.
You sure you can talk like that?
I did that on purpose, by the way. I'm going to make a point here with that. So we saw Athena come out, make her promo about her debut in AEW. She calls out Jade Cargill. And in the process of calling out Jade Cargill, she says, we're going to keep it 100. Let's have a real talk moment. And I actually didn't think the promo was really bad. Like, I thought that it was
liked
fine.
it, honestly.
I thought it was fine for what it needed to be. I actually enjoyed that whole segment. I thought
the segment was great.
Yeah. I thought from the beginning to end, I thought Athena coming out there and then Stoke bringing out the baddies and
Stoke was just incredible.
And Jade saying best talker in the game. She hands him the mic. He goes off. This then brings out Anna Jay, and then also Chris Statlander, and the three have a face-to-face. I like the segment. Oh, and then of course Stokely screaming security, security, great shit.
He's the best.
Yeah, nah, he's the best. Had fun with the segment. I get on Twitter. Twitter has found 2 seconds of it that they are focused on and have decided to clown on, and everybody's jumping in. I'm noticing a lot of people who were jumping in didn't even see the rest of the segment, literally just saw the 2 seconds, which was keeping it 100 real talk moment. And there became a huge discussion about whether or not there was a discussion about for some reason Brandy got dragged back into it, and it was talking about Brandy and the promo with Jade Cargill and the black bitch stuff from earlier this year. I can't believe was that this year? Oh my god! No, that was into last year. That was that was December of last year, so that was very end of the year. And that brought up a whole lot of discussion over using AAVE when not necessary, African American vernacular English, as it were.
You can't police black people for doing it.
That's my thing here.
How do you
and where
fucking
I'm
police
having a
us
problem
for doing
is,
us?
As
Like,
I'm having a problem with policing black people in general, specifically policing the language of black people. I didn't like any of this discussion at all, and so I stayed out of it on social media.
Me too. I didn't even see it, honestly.
I wasn't going to chime in on it at all. Phil, you, of course, are Mr. Twitter.
I'm always dragged in everything. Bro.
You dug right in.
But I didn't try to. I just tweeted, and people were like, yo, what you trying to say? You trying to say she should be able to say that? And I'm like, no, I asked the question.
And yes, she should be able to say that. Why the fuck can't she say that?
I'll go into what I tweeted for context. So, because I saw people bringing up Brandy again, and so I just asked the question. I said, yo, are people still under the impression that somebody wrote that promo for Brandy? Because she said more than once that it was improvised. I think that's interesting. And people were like, it doesn't matter.
She specifically said she was trying to channel Vivica Fox from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, so I got a few responses, and it was kind of like, the consensus was it doesn't matter if it was written. And I was like, it kind of does, because if you're now insinuating that AEW as a company sends black women out there and tries to emphasize stereotypes,
that's crazy.
Then you have to tell me who in that company do you think is writing that, and where do you think that mandate is coming from? And again, that's not me saying that it doesn't happen. I just asked the question, and people were like, all right, well, because I said, look, we've heard more than once. There's nobody behind the scenes writing promos. So who's writing that?
And they've said that for better or worse. Some have said that they need it, and others have said that they like that they have the freedom to just kind of do.
Yeah, so that was my only point in it. I was kind of like, all right, if you're saying they're emphasizing stereotypes, which is whack, and if that's what they're doing, that's garbage. But we don't have anything to point to say that that's what they're doing. And so I afterwards rewatched the entire segment, and I was like, nah, guys, I think Athena is just a little awkward on mic. That's how she talks when she's on Twitch.
That's how she talks, dude.
That's her same, because I saw people that tried to make it seem like she was just going in her full bag stereotype. Like, that was the same cadence she always talks with. It was the same tone of voice. Nothing changed other than those slang terms she used, and the way she used them. That's how she does. That's how she that talks all the time. Remember when she did the interview with Van Vliet, and she was like, yeah, I don't want to wear booty butt cheeks like booty butt cheek shorts like Mandy. That's how she talks, bro. Like, right. I think people are just so trying to catch her up in why are you?
It's all about that her fucking let's keep it a hundy. It's all about her husband's t-shirt. That's what it is.
I think people were like, why are you in this segment with other black women talking like this? And my thing is, you guys know this because, I will say...
Saying it to a black woman, that's crazy.
I will say this, and I don't know if people have peeped this, but if I go on other podcasts and it ain't us, I don't talk to them the same way. They wouldn't understand. Like, if I'm talking to y'all, we talk a certain way. If I go in a room and it's a bunch of non-black people, I talk a certain way. If I go in a room and I look in the corner and I see black people, I'm like, yo, there are people over there, and I go talk to them, I'm going to talk a different way. So... I think assuming that she got in this segment and just was like, oh, well, man, let me get my black scent off. Like, no, that's not what happened. I think she just was trying to get comfortable in this segment with other black people. And I think people blew this out of proportion.
I think so, too. And look around me right now. I am a colossal, gigantic dork. That is who I am. You're not supposed to agree with that, Phil.
Oh,
No, we've had conversations.
No, I'm
We
just
don't
kidding.
agree.
I'm just kidding. But I know who I am.
nerd loser.
I know that one of the things I enjoy doing, just because I think it's funny, is like butchering slang. That shit is fun. It's funny, and that is, or just like making up random slang. That's another thing I just like.
And you're
fucking
allowed
do.
to.
And that's the thing. I just fucking do it, and I don't give a shit about any of that. But I feel like in that scenario, I had a chat with somebody about all of this. About, look, I know what it's about. I know what the need to jump on Athena is truly all about. I think, one, you didn't like the interview she did with Chris Van Vliet. You were still mad about the stuff she said about Mandy Rose. I think that's a lot of those people who are looking to catch her slipping because of like, oh my God, if she had come out in booty butt cheek shorts, are you kidding me?
Butt
Like,
cheeks?
people would have lit her up. People wanted her to slip, and then also to deal with her husband. I would say most of that's fair game, except for the fact that from a representation perspective, I don't give a fuck about any of that. And the reason I don't is because I think about myself when I was younger and how one of the most important wrestlers to me and why I still respect what he did for me, Booker T. Booker T was my guy. I loved Booker T. Are you kidding me? I thought from that run in 2002 we had, like, I loved Booker T. I loved Harlem Heat. But particularly talking about singles runs, I thought that run where he started feuding with Big Show, where they kicked him out of the NWO, I thought that was bullshit. But then when he goes on that singles run and has the cage match with Big Show, and he starts just kind of tearing it up, Booker T was my guy, man. I brought signs to shows for Booker T. That was my dude. Does Booker T have problematic views? Absolutely. Do I love picking away?
100%.
Do I love picking away at Booker T? Sure, but I recognize that the average fan doesn't know about any of that shit. The average fan doesn't care about any of that shit. And I think about what Big Swole said last year in her podcast, where she had specifically talked about one of the things that she needed for her daughter to see was representation on the programming, and that's not representation with an asterisk. That's not representation where, yeah, it's representation, but let's make sure that her husband also has views that or doesn't wear problematic t-shirts, right? Let's make sure that all of this other shit. That's all stuff to kind of be handled elsewhere. But as far as representation in itself is concerned, my daughter is a huge fan of Athena. She thinks that those wings were the coolest shit on the fucking planet. And asked me, can I somehow find wings like that? And I was like, there's probably no way I could find those, but if I could, I'm sure I would. But my daughter thinks she's the coolest in the world, and I recognize none of that shit matters to the average fan as far as just seeing straight up solid representation.
Really quick, I see a couple of comments in the chat. We're never going to stop with the race talk. This is a black podcast featuring 3 black men. If there's something to talk about on yes, if you don't want to hear this talk, please turn this off. This is never going to fucking change. I'm a black man that is afraid to drive down the street when I see cop cars. It fucking makes when I see a cop car pass, it makes my heart stop. There's nothing you can fucking say to me.
I told you guys something that happened in Vegas.
Talking about this shit and fuck on my own podcast. That's insane. I'm going to talk about being black. I'm going to talk about black issues. I'm going to talk about all that because I fucking experience it. And if you don't want to see it, fucking leave.
Yo, exactly.
Ooh, that got me good, man. Shit, dude. Don't tell me to stop talking about race things on my fucking podcast.
I told you guys something that happened in Vegas in the group chat. And that's no, I'm sorry. Like, if you can go to any other podcast out here and they will avoid talking to this, you guys come here to get our voices and our opinions. If you're not here for that, then hey, peace out.
The only thing I'm gonna say though is, again, because I'll agree with this. The phrase was cringy, and this is from Chaos Control. But how are you gonna police black people for talking black? This is so stupid. And that's the thing is, I don't like the idea of policing black people's blackness. I don't. I think that within the confines of our space, I want to be able to just be and not have to worry about, well, you can be, but these are the rules for being. No, that's not how this is going to work. That's not how that should ever work.
No. Especially not to a black woman that has been dealing with issues like this forever, and then you're going to put the shit on her some more? I can't.
I mean this in general. Like, I saw somebody say, and I think they were trying to say the right thing, but again, it just comes down to a case of trying to police somebody's actions, where they were like, they said that, Athena is, a nerdy type, and she should stick to being that. Look at Xavier Woods. He's a great example of how to be that. And I thought, how are you just going to tell somebody how to be? Xavier Woods
the bruh has a move called the backwoods. If you get come on, dude, shut up. He does the same shit.
And the thing is, Xavier Woods is a great example of how to be Xavier Woods.
We don't all have to be the same, man. We all don't represent ourselves in front of people that don't understand what it means to be black the same way. And we don't owe you no explanation on why we want to do things a certain way. Sorry. And I know people are gonna, like I said, people might be mad at the shirt and other things. That's why I say all the time, it's important not to conflate issues. You cannot conflate what happened with that shirt with people getting mad at her just dropping 2 random lines, throwaway lines in a promo. It's just not that serious.
I didn't even think about those lines, by the way, until I got back on Twitter, because all I was thinking about that whole segment was, hey, Athena's not known for being a talker, but I feel like she controlled the crowd well and did what she needed to do here. And then I was like, and Stokely's talking. Like, I was all about that segment till I got on Twitter and saw all these people dunking on it. And
I thought it was a good segment overall. I thought Jade and Stokely showed great chemistry together. I continue to like Jade and the Baddies as an act. Yeah. I don't know. I thought people definitely overreacted to this.
And Athena's going to get a great match out of Jade, most importantly.
My God, though. Athena, I do want to give her props for 2 things. As a matter of fact, this is where we can talk Rampage. Because your mileage may vary. But that opening match was everything that I just love. Because ultimately, for me, pro wrestling, like, you could talk about flippy doos and spots and gymnastics and routines and all that jazz. Look, man, the only thing I want out of pro wrestling is crowds to be happy with what they're seeing.
Your favorites could never, baby.
And when I see a match that is making a crowd go wild and go wild and go wild and screaming their heads off, and at every single turn the crowd is just into it and the match is fun to follow, I don't care about none of that other shit. If you can do something that just gets the crowd going, you're winning in professional wrestling.
Facts.
And all 4 of these guys won. I like the fact that because at first I thought, doing Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks again, like, we've seen that 4 times just in AEW. We saw it 3 prior times in AEW.
About to be different every time.
But and we've seen it off AEW as well. But Excalibur pointed out one specific thing, and that changed the whole game for me. At the top of the match, he goes, "This is the first time these 2 teams have competed with no title on the line." And I went, "Oh shit. This is a different kind of match than all of a sudden. This is non-title. This is just 2 teams going at it. They've never done that? Gimme." Yeah. And I feel like from jump, this match just went a million miles a minute, never took a break, kept going. It like, honestly, I was keeping up with the picture-in-picture because I'm like, they're still going. They're not just like chilling during the picture-in-picture.
They were cooking.
They were just cooking the entire time. They come back, crowd is still just going nuts. This is my type of pro wrestling. I'm sorry. I like this.
This is the reason that AEW exists, is because of matches like this. This is why we're watching this shit on Wednesdays and Friday nights, because I saw this shit in Reseda, California, PWG. I saw matches exactly like this, and that's what led to what we're watching now. They did this. They do this. This is Young Bucks. Like, that was an easy one from. Let's do this sprint out here with fucking Lucha Bros. And bam, history.
the Young Bucks are just one of my favorite acts in wrestling. When they came out on Sunday with the Elvis super kick party, that was fire.
I love that song.
Super kick party.
I thought it was great, yo. And I think that the part of that makes it good is just that they are fine with being corny and being obnoxious. It's funny.
Exactly.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I had
And the Lucha Bros, come on, Phoenix is back. Fucking oh god, he's the most ridiculous wrestler in the world. My favorite luchador, as I always say. And Penta is like, at a point when Lucha Underground first kicked off, Penta was one of the hottest wrestlers like in the entire world. And I think people kind of forget what he's capable of. And then last night,
he's like, put some respect on my name.
Boom, here we go. Yeah.
No, this was great. I had so much fun with this. And
Yeah,
the Bucks won.
I came and
But
watched
now
it
that-
after Hood Slam, and I had watched a bunch of wrestling, and I was still like, just like going ham at 1 o'clock in the morning watching this insane
now-
wrestling match.
They set us up to need another one because all of a sudden, the series is now tied 2-2. So now we gotta get a fifth Young Bucks and Lucha Bros match. So
And they ripped off Penta's mask. They set it up. They always set
Yeah.
it up.
they set it up. No, this was fun. I had a blast with that. But then also, I did think Athena had a great showing against Kiera Hogan.
Yep.
I thought that was a great first showing.
I
for
knew they
her.
were gonna cook too. Like Kiera has needed a match like this to kind of show everybody that she ain't one to mess with. You know what I mean?
yeah. Athena got a great reaction, and I think it just shows again. The stuff on the internet is not always reality, man. Like
No,
sometimes
it's not reality at all. I was just having a conversation with a bullshit artist in wrestling media, and one of the things I had told him was like, you put way too much stock in this shit, man. Like, when you guys have seen, I love talking to people. I love talking to just random ass people at wrestling shows. And
Yo,
just getting to know
sometimes you gotta take Will away from a crowd of randoms. Like, all right, Will, we gotta go because he'll cook for an hour with some random people just with a wrestling shirt on somewhere. So yeah, that's like a real thing.
I'm a people person, and I love hearing people's stories, and I love hearing what people are into. And the reason I said that is because sometimes I'll talk to people who are at AEW shows, at WWE shows, and they have no clue what's going on the internet at all.
Right.
They're like, nah, I don't use Twitter. Like, I'm an Instagram guy or anything along those lines. They have no idea what conversations are happening there. And sometimes, like, I feel like that's where Tony Khan gets lost in the trenches, because Tony Khan will also, he's very deep in Twitter conversations, and he's very into all that stuff. And it's like, when I'm at these shows, a lot of these people have no fucking clue.
They don't know what
what's
cage
going
match is.
Oh, yeah, they don't know none of this. They just watch the show, and like they're very into the show. They're like, yeah, my favorite wrestler is Orange Cassidy. My favorite wrestler is this. Like, I just watch the show every week, and that's it. Yeah, I didn't know about any of this other stuff going on. Like, if it doesn't hit TMZ or if it doesn't hit ESPN, I don't know.
Like we've been talking about the Jay Lethal stuff. Like the crowds, they don't know anything beyond Jay Lethal was former 2-time ROH champion. Like that's all they care
That's
about
it.
in those.
They don't
arenas.
know none of that stuff.
Yeah, the live crowd and the internet crowd, it's not always the same. Sometimes things translate, sometimes things don't translate at all. And I, not to say that I think everybody on the internet was like collectively like, nah, get Athena out of here, but there was definitely a conversation around it that was like, yeah, I don't really get this. And I will say this out front, like, I know that we are 3 black men. I don't want to sit here and speak for black women that might have felt the way about that promo, but I did feel that some of it was a little unwarranted. That's just my opinion. Of course, you know, people don't have to agree with me.
Kai says, just let people be who they be. I never hear about Hangman being too white or Andrade being too Mexican. Double standards are cringe.
I would love for someone to say that Hangman was too white, though. That'd make me laugh at this point. He did put horns on his Tesla. That is hella white, I'm saying.
So finally, let us talk about the
something
biggest
really
story.
cool happened this week. I don't know. We're just like, we keep forgetting to mention it. Something crazy happened last Wednesday. Some young man, he set the world on fire last Saturday. Like, shit was crazy. And then he came back and did a promo that had me on the verge of tears as a wrestling fan. MJF fucking cooked on Wednesday. Like, no, it's very rare that people have cooked like this man has cooked before. Passion, it was real. all this. It was like everything you could ever want for a perfect pro wrestling promo. This guy fucking did it, man. Like, I'm still blown away thinking about how he put that together and how it's like when they say it's a work, that's what I'm saying. You can't write this. Like, you can't write all the things that come together to lead to that promo, to lead to these things. You can't write this. Like, this is like all crazy chances that have happened and all these different things have come together. But Max came through and knocked it out the fucking park, man. And one of the best promos. I've been watching pro wrestling for 30 years. Top 5 promo I've ever seen. Like, no question about it. That was amazing.
I had a friend note to me because there's been this big question. Is it a work? Is it a shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Work, shoot? And they said it's not that binary. Period. It's not it's not that simple.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That, the idea that everything that's been going on with the internet stories about MJF's unhappiness and his contract stuff, was that all a work? And if so, were you also working the boys? Because the boys were also under the impression that this was not, because there's been talk about MJF and his demeanor backstage, and like, was he just working people? I am of the belief, personally, that no, that it was not to start, and that
I talked to some boys that weren't, they got worked, if that's what I'm like, they were not in on it, like a bunch of them. So that's what I'm saying. It didn't start out, for me, everything that I know, it did not start out.
Yeah,
like
I don't believe it did either. I think that it became one over time, and not even over time. I think it became one just this week.
Just became one.
I think it just became one. And there are even aspects of that I know people are still questioning of what exactly took place there. It's great television. I'll say that.
Amazing.
It's great TV.
It was a great promo.
Amazing.
It's a great promo. I am intrigued.
At this point, we just have to ride it out. Like, Sean Rossap tweeted something about, like, who cares if it's a work? Who cares if it's a shoot? Like, at this point, we're just getting great stuff, and let's enjoy this ride. We don't have to overanalyze every single aspect of it. If you're just going to entertain us with great shit like this, like, let's strap in. You know what I mean?
So, there are clear things I noticed right away, because I've watched it twice. I watched it twice the night I saw it. And, yeah, I even if we're going with what it looks like that it was a shoot in the first place, he was definitely working once he got out there. Tony not sending him out there with no hot mic to talk.
No
especially
way.
for as long as he talked.
No way.
And get all of that stuff off, and it's not a work. And especially like the content of some of the things he said. Like, one of the things I noticed right away, I don't know if you remember this in the Scrum guys, when Tony was like, yeah, there are guys here that don't watch New Japan. I don't know why. And he said in the promo, I'm not going to pretend I watch New Japan. I was like, yo.
And
so
MJF, he did that in the interview with Ariel Helwani, where he was asked about what wrestling he watches, and he said, I watch a little bit of everything except New Japan. And he's like, it's just not for me. He said, I like Great O'Khan, and that's it. But other than that, I don't watch that stuff.
Like, of course, like, as the character, and, like, that, of course he wouldn't. Like, why would MJF be watching that? That's not what he does.
Which is why when people say that they want him to win the title at Forbidden Door, on one end, I'm like, okay, it would be perfect heat for somebody who's like, I don't care for New Japan. But on the other hand, it's also kind of disrespectful to the relationship, because he has outright said,
he said that,
like, I don't like New Japan. So,
and said that, and if he would have came into it like, I'm not working that show in Chicago, woo boy, that would have been heat. But yeah, there's too many aspects of it that have a tinge to truth of it, but it's a half truth. It's not the full truth.
It's pro wrestling, baby.
There's too much stuff that he left intentionally vague, so people can go, no, he's right. And then if you pull at the string a little bit, and it's like, no, he's not. He's not right.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people go, all right, well, why would they let him come out there and bury the company like that? And I was like, because that's what he always does. He's supposed to go out there and tell you enough of his side of the story to get you on his side. That's the same thing he did with Moxley during their program. It's the same thing he did with Punk, where he told him enough to go like, look, you're just like me. We're the same. But he, of course, is only telling you what you want to hear, man. And he's only telling you enough to make you feel like he's right. And that's the best villain. When you think the villain is right, he's compelling.
Because he turned them. The promo started out, the crowd was chanting, shut the fuck up, and all this stuff. And then
once
he turned them, boy.
Once he turned the crowd and he started spilling tea, people were in. And I think there's a difference. I've said this before as well, because people are like, oh, well, they agree with him a little bit. But I think
a lot of it was just applause for the fact that they were witnessing a historic promo.
Yeah, and anytime you see someone bury their boss, you're going to like it. I mean, you know what I mean?
Anytime we watch wrestling and we feel like, wait, we're on the other side of the curtain. We're hearing stuff we're not supposed to hear. Yep. The crowd is going to be into that. The crowd is going to like it. And I mean, it's no coincidence that this promo mirrored the pipe bomb. There's so much stuff in there that mirrors the pipe bomb.
I think I watched a video on Reddit of them side to side, and
I've seen this so many times on Twitter. I haven't talked about it. I talked it in the spaces, but I've seen people that go like, "Oh, is he lying though?" Yes, he's lying. There are certain things that he's specifically lying about. To sit there and say, "Oh man, you're paying all these WWE guys more than me, and none of them can lace your boots." Who you talking about, fam? Because if you're talking about Punk, that's a lie. If you're talking about Daniel, that's a lie, fam. If you're talking about Swerve, that's a lie. That is a big lie. And I can go on and on and on and on, bro. There's certain parts about that. No. You capping, bro.
Right.
So I'll say this: the comparison to the pipe bomb is valid, but it can also draw similar criticisms, right? Because the pipe bomb in a vacuum is one of the greatest promos of all time.
Yeah.
But I said this on Day After Dynamite this week. The problem with the pipe bomb overall was that it was CM Punk pointing out a whole bunch of systemic shit about WWE that never got fixed. To this day, it's still the same.
It was a selfish thing. It was like, I don't care about everybody. As long as you get my shit right, we're cool. Like, I don't care about the issues here, but if you get my thing right, we're good. You know?
Yeah, none of those issues ever really got fixed. Like the stuff he talked about in there kind of still exists.
Same shit.
And so this is one of those things where I hope there is a longer term end game here in mind. And my guess was that it probably did involve Punk if there was one. And
there's too many specifics, man, for me to think that this was not intentional.
And I'm not saying that it wasn't intentional. I'm saying that, like I said, it's similar to the pipe bomb. Like, this feud, this MJF stuff better not end with like Triple H and Kevin Nash. Like that's,
if they did that, that would be crazy.
That would be wild if we get all the way there.
It was too many ways that he intentionally jabbed at Punk, and I know people are like, "No, this is directed at the company." No, there's too many things Punk in here that are specific to Punk. Yeah. The way they cut off the mic that mirrored the way that Punk's mic was cut off, and it didn't show on TV, but Punk coming out to chase him out, that's not coincidence, bro. Like, all of that stuff is to get under Punk's skin, and I've been saying this for a while on Twitter. I really believe MJF will be champion by the end of this year.
I really think so, too. And I think that's ultimately where this is all headed. But it is interesting that a lot has played out the way it has. I know
busy-ass week for Max.
Been a busy-ass week. Hey, I wanted to get Irene's super chat in. She says, these IWC members trying to snatch Athena's black card because she's a blurred who sounded corny need to look themselves in the mirror and wonder if they're helping enforce stereotypes themselves.
It's a bunch of corny people talking about people being corny for sure, Irene.
I don't know.
So again, like I said, I don't like hammering people on that kind of stuff about identity.
Like, bro, we all watch pro wrestling.
Yeah. Young Bucks and Lucha Bros are destined to fight till the end of time, and I'm here for
it. Fight forever.
King of Games says, do you all think MJF should win the belt before Punk comes back from injury? Depends on when Punk comes back from injury. If this is just like a 3-month thing, then maybe.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
If it's 6, yeah. If it's 3, nah.
Yeah. MJF and Cody giving AEW for life promos is coincidence.
They're both really smart guys. Like, all of this is for something. They never do anything just to do it. It's all leading to something.
I rewatched some of the main event of Double or Nothing for an article I wrote about the summer of Punk that it feels like we're not getting now. But one of the things I noticed right away after the match, and I thought the story stuff they did with Hangman of him acting like he was going to hit him, which I never believed, and he put the belt down, and I was sitting there the whole time, and I was like, they're making the point that if Punk had that chance, he would have hit him with that belt. I definitely believe that because they've already shown us the optic of him using the ring to beat MJF. I really feel like if he had the chance, he would have hit him with that belt.
Either way, what a week, guys. I've had so much fun. I don't know what comes of the MJF stuff, but it is the thing I am most intrigued by.
Yep.
There's an event tonight, a premium live event, because there's NXT in your house happening.
Wait, seriously?
Tonight. It is tonight.
Shit.
Yeah, man, we got Gacy versus Braun Breaker.
Gacy. Who's Mello wrestling? He's wrestling to
He's
the moon.
Challenging for the
North American
Championship
title.
Yeah,
Cameron Grimes.
Right.
Okay, I might be interested in that. I don't know anything about the show, but I might check it out.
Yep. So that is happening tonight. So lots of stuff going on. Grapsody will be back next week. I want, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been paying attention for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes that we've been doing the show. He says he don't need it, but Phil Lindsey looks like he needs some sleep.
Hit the sack, my man.
Go lay your head down on a pillow, my man.
Phil's about to get right back in them spaces. He ain't listening to nothing you got to say.
No, I will not.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, Philip, please get some sleep. This has been Grapsody. I am Will Washington. Thank you for being here. Righteous Reg has also been here. For my man, we will see you next time. Have a great night. Peace.